Yep, go for it.
Yep. The Indie Council is in session. Welcome, everyone. This is a place for the leading voices from across the industry to gather to talk news, titles, and everything indie. I'm your master of ceremonies, Jill Grote, the Indie Informer, and we have a full council because today, very important episode. I almost lost my breath in the middle of speaking. That's not good. Join the council. A Lonely Mountain Snow Rider, Janet Garcia.
Hello.
Delta Runer, Jenny Wyndham.
Hello.
And in the service of the Fly Knight, Mike Towndrow.
Man, shout out to the Fly Knight. Didn't make the list. Spoilers,
I know.
but man, my homie.
Spoilers for what's
No
ahead.
respect for the knight in this room.
No
It's
respect
despicable.
for the Knight.
None.
Even
I'm
though it
willing
was
to
an
admit I'm part of the
amazing-
problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that.
It was an amazing Halloween.
A lot of people
costume,
do.
though. So we had other bugs fighting other bugs that was going on. So sorry,
Yeah.
Mike. You can only be
It
one.
really be your own people, like
Listen.
they say, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Some might say Fly Knight's a little better than Silk Song. I don't know. I'm just saying there's
I
clearly
don't know
one.
who-
None of those
one
people
good
are here
business.
lovely.
Yeah. Who's the sum?
Are they in the room with us now, Mike?
No one we know. No one we would associate with.
Oh no, is there? Let me look at the camera. Oh yeah, he's right here.
Well, everybody, it is the end of the year for the Indie Council. So we are going to be going into our 2025 final verdict, official top 10 of the Indie Council. Before we jump in, we have some quick news we do want to touch on because it's very important and we want to make sure we're not addressing it. Janet, if you want to jump in, tell us what's going on with horses.
Yeah, I'm going to keep it pretty brief, and I admittedly am going a little bit off the top of my head, so apologies for not having more, more concise, like in direct reading, but I feel like in any other episode or week, this probably would have been like the topic of the show and the big thing we talked about. Obviously, we have the awards. We want to keep it to that, but did want to acknowledge what's going on with horses, which is that it was banned from a number of storefronts. This is a game developed by I forgot how to pronounce the last part of the studio name. It's like Santi Rio Jo. I'm gonna butcher that. If someone wants to jump in on that, that'd be appreciated.
Excellent.
But this is like a studio I really like. I really love their game Wheels of Aurelia. Funnily enough, I feel like they have such bad luck with like getting pulled from Apple earlier because the game wasn't updated. Anyway, but their new project is called Horses, and it was banned from Steam, Epic, and then had kind of a weird moment today at the time of recording with Humble Games, but that's kind of since been reinstated. We'll keep an eye on that. But basically, this is kind of another example of games being flagged for having inappropriate content, according to Steam's and maybe other storefronts policies, and then kind of just getting a, nope, you're done. Here's kind of like templated language of the reasoning, we'll see you never kind of situation. And in the case of Epic, that was very much like a kind of a rug pull situation where that was a 24-hour before release situation. I think for this, I will just briefly read from the website, which is horses.wtf/banned from Steam. They kind of have a official listing that goes into more details, and I'll toss to some reports that you can also watch and keep an eye on over the holidays about this. But they have let's see, what's the easiest way? I'm just going to do why exactly was Horses banned from Steam, but they have a lot of, the timeline, the history, and details on their site if you want to read more about it. But they say, we were not told. Steam's policy grants broad discretion to refuse titles without providing detailed explanations. In our case, they simply stated they could not legally distribute Horses without clarifying why. When we asked for an official explanation, that we could share publicly, we were redirected to Steam's general onboarding documentation. And it's, quote, what you shouldn't publish on Steam section, which cites catch-all phrases such as content that is patently offensive or intended to shock or disgust viewers. The full text of the automated review they have like listed underneath. And then they kind of just talk about other aspects of, potentially what got flagged in the content, FAQs, things like that. But yeah, I mean, this is, I think, kind of in line with what we talked about earlier in this year of the show, where we talked about the sort of push to have what's the word for it? It's not a point of sale, but like the sales systems.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Basically not allow for purchases of like certain games, and this kind of being like part of that like right-leaning push on games and that being in that conversation. But yeah, and a lot of people are upset about this. I think rightfully so. Not only is the content frankly seemingly milder than I think a lot of other games that do exist out there. Not that the content isn't serious. For context, if people aren't familiar, the setup of Horses is that you are a college student working on a farm, but the farm is not a typical farm. It has horses that are people. They're like naked people wearing horse masks, so the nudity is blurred. So it goes into topics of slavery, violence, exploitation, and like a lot of these games, the game begins with like a message flagging some of the content that you will encounter in the game. And like a lot of games that deal with intense subject matter, that's viewer discretion, right? There's many games that I think people might not want to engage with from a personal thematic level, whether it's something like Consume Me with its content with eating disorders, or mouth washing with some of its intense themes as well. So I just wanted to kind of give a nod to that, catch people up on the whole situation. There's been a lot of major outlets reporting on this, including IGN's Rebecca Valentine is where I've kept up with a lot of the story. I really also like Alana Pierce has a YouTube channel, and she did a video kind of explaining all of these things, like a quick kind of 16-minute watch, not just explaining some of the stuff I mentioned here, but also why people should be upset about it, why it matters for like the greater gaming ecosystem, and all of that. But obviously could be a huge topic. I know we're not going to spend a lot of time on it, but if any of y'all want to chime in, it is still available for purchase on storefronts like GOG and itch.io, which is, I have my copy through a code I received via GOG. So I started it. I'm very, very early. I'm only like, it's like 14 days roughly, and I'm only on like day 1 or 2. But yeah, just wanted to shout that out as something that's happening in the indie scene that has also gotten major attention and is part of I think a larger conversation about what's happening with indie games and how big the power of Steam is. There's like so many topics that go into this, but yeah, just wanted to make sure that we addressed it, because we're not going to have like a larger conversation on it, given this being our last episode of the year and all of that. I didn't want it to fully fall through the cracks of the show.
Yeah, just to add to that, and Janet just explained the situation wonderfully. I'm also playing it. I grabbed it off GOG. If you're a Steam Deck person, it runs wonderfully on Hero Launcher for Steam Deck. So if you go to your switch to desktop mode, download Hero Launcher, you can just add that launcher to your Steam library and then just do it by regular Steam Deck means. I'm at the beginning, because as Janet said, it's like broken down into days. I'm at the beginning of day 5. It's gnarly. Sure. So far it could ramp up. I've played gnarlier stuff. I think like arguably, I think some of the stuff in mouthwashing is a lot more crazy than in a non-derogatory term, crazy than what I've experienced in Horses So Far. I freaking love the game so far. I think it's such a gnarly, twisted, Argento soaked like art house horror. And I'm excited I'm gonna try to wrap it up tonight. I'm really excited to play more of it. But it's a bummer of a situation. I think it got like, didn't this thing world premiere, like got the premiere during like a day of the devs or something?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
we have the devs.
Yeah.
It's been on like so many
like,
main in the context of like the indie scene main stages. Like it could not be a more regular video game other than yes, sure,
like
it's dark, but
from a known studio. I mean, Saturnalia was like pretty not like big, but like people know about Saturnalia.
Yeah.
It's just fucked up. That sucks.
Yeah, I know. I think it's something that we talked about earlier, but just to bring it back up so it's a little bit more top of mind. But I think about 2 things in particular. One is how, while we shouldn't be comparing games always to other media. I think about like art house films and other movies and how far they can go, and how I don't see the same kind of regulation or sort of like stopping and sort of hubbub happening around that. And so thinking about other media, this is also really fascinating and frustrating. And I also continuously think about the power that these few platforms have over the entire industry and the distribution of the entire industry. And also because they have that power, at the very least, we need to get clarity on like what are those standards, because right now it seems really arbitrary and vague, and that's like the frustrating part, is that there's no consistency in how it's being implemented and enforced. And so that's just incredibly frustrating. And yeah, who knows? I mean, I feel like this isn't the last we'll talk of this. Hopefully,
No,
it gets
yeah.
better, but I'm
Yeah,
sure we'll
no.
be bringing this up, next year even, because this is something that'll continue to happen until something changes.
Yeah.
And like you mentioned, the standards are all over the place, especially with there's so many examples that have been tossed out on the internet. I'm sure y'all
Mhm.
have seen names tossed out there, but those are actual video games that are available to purchase on Steam. And it's just bonkers of where is that line? Like, clearly there's something going on with the curation process at Valve and at Epic.
Mhm.
And like, I'd imagine it's like Steam/Valve setting the standard, Epic just following
Yeah,
suit, and
that's what I
then
imagined too.
Humble probably just feeling freaked out, and then clearly
Mhm.
backing out because of the backlash that they received today. Um,
Right.
like,
Yeah.
again, standards, like, just play the game. Just play the game.
And as Janet said, this is a conversation that started much earlier with other things going on. So this is an ongoing conversation. We talked a lot about this in our censorship and money in indie games discussion. I'll link that down below. I'll link a lot of that down below so y'all can all get caught up with everything that is happening with horses and beyond. But I think it's time to celebrate the great games that are happening this year, that have happened this year. We are ready for some good news. Just in general, just for life. I think we can all use a little bit of good news right here. So let's talk about the 2025 Indie Council final verdict. These are our official top 10 indie games for the Indie Council. The way this works, if anybody doesn't know it, it's a simple 10-point system. Each of us make a top 10 list with our number 10s getting 1 point all the way down, with the number 1 on our list getting 10 points, all of them added together and combined into a list that represents, to some degree, our thoughts on what the best indie games of this year were. This was a really wild year, and we will talk about that afterwards. Let's see. And then after revealing the winners, we will debate which of the top 10 deserve which previously established award. As anybody who has seen the show before knows, that we have established very serious categories of awards, including Not Like Other Sims Award, Do I Need to Repeat Myself Award, the Spin Me Right Round Award, Hex Appeal, still one of my favorites, thanks Jenny, the Chance the Rapper Award, First Out the Gate Award, the Kool-Aid Man Award, Just a Little Guy Award, Slipknot's Duality Award, Let Them Cook Award, and then honorable mention, the Goobies Gang Award. So we'll keep an eye on which of those we want to put in. We're doing
If
that live.
Goobies 2 doesn't win the Goobies,
Doesn't win the
next
Goobies
year,
category. It'll be so funny.
Sometimes you get outdone, in your own category. I think that's a lot of what video games that actually are. Now I think about it.
Can I borrow you over here for a second?
Okay.
Yeah.
No.
Please, I need you to just,
Yeah.
if you could shift.
Yeah.
It's fine. Good enough for the bit. Yep, there you go. Hey, you want to commit right now that Goobies 2 is number 1 on our list next year?
I honestly really don't. I'm sorry.
I appreciate this
I hate-
insider baseball.
I hate playing.
I mean,
I hate
You were
playing
not invited to
politics
this
with
room.
the
I feel
list.
like I know I wasn't part of the conversation.
We
I have
gotta
no
let the
idea
list
what was
be,
just
you
said,
know?
but I feel like that was a betrayal. I felt the betrayal happening in the room.
What are you talking about? Nothing happened.
Well, did I
Anyways, number
betray
10.
Mike or did I stay true to myself? Like who do I have to betray, me or Mike? I'm gonna choose me every time. I don't know. Sorry, Florida, so I'm gonna choose
would
Mike
too.
every time because I would stick with me. Yeah, whatever. Just
Yeah,
do
no, I
the
get
fucking
it.
show. Just go, Jill. God,
There we go. Okay,
have
with
we
that-
not suffered enough?
Let's start with, let's hope this works.
Oh,
Oh, sound effects.
I know, isn't that cool?
yes. If it
And
could be
then
a
Mike is supposed
smidge
to be
less
on
loud.
it and other
Does Mike
things.
just go
but
and do
he's
it?
Not. He's just not.
Listen, the technology isn't that fluid.
Okay. Number
Luminous
10.
Arise.
Wow, feels like we're at the TGAs. That voiceover.
Mike, this is you. Mike, this is you.
Luminous
Mike,
Arise
yeah.
from Enhance.
Before you go on, Mike, go ahead.
God
Thank
damn
you.
it.
Before you go
See?
ahead,
So organized.
I'll go ahead. No,
It's
I
giving
was
student project, I fear.
We
I'm
had
sorry.
thought about this. We thought about this ahead of time. Nobody panic. Luminous Arise is one of several games on this list that is on this list because it is very high up on one of our lists. Yep. Mike put
Yeah,
this as
baby.
his
Let's
number
go.
2, if I remember correctly.
Jill's like,
and
just so you know, this ain't got nothing to do with me.
I didn't do this one. I didn't do this one.
Yo, this was almost my number 1. I was
I
just gonna throw it
know.
out
I
there.
was actually really mind blown that it wasn't, but
It
go
might
ahead.
be when the year's all said and done. It might be. Yeah, Lumina's Arise. This is from Enhance. This, as the name implies, this is a Lumines game. If you're unfamiliar with Lumines, it's Tetris-like, where instead of doing stacking tetraminos, the timeline goes from left to right, where you're stacking blocks of 4 and trying to make combinations in order to clear the board and get a high score. Enhance has such a unique way of adapting the most, not to call Lumines or Tetris simple, but traditional simple mannered puzzle games into an enamoring emotional and sensory experience. Like both Tetris Effect and Lumines Arise, just between the visuals, how they make use of specific technology, like for this as an example, like the dual sense, taking advantage of the power of consoles and PCs to give you such a bonkers visual experience. When I played Lumines Arise initially at SGF, it felt like I was alone in play days. Like I just totally got lost in the rhythm, the sounds, the visuals, whatever was happening on screen being transferred over into the DualSense haptic feedbacks. I think is the best use of the DualSense, if I may be so bold, because 3 games use it probably, the vibrations. And no game has really ever been able to do that for me before, where it's like we all know how like SGF or like a PAX or whatever goes. We're all exhausted and dehydrated and hungry and probably a little snippy, and we just want to go to bed, but we got to make it to the next appointment. It's exciting, it's fun, there's so much anxiety around it. But when I sat at that Lumines booth and I had that half-hour demo playing through whatever the first like 5 levels, it just felt like I was in the most peaceful setting my mind could ever imagine, and just existing in the moment. And that experience was expanded tenfold with the full 1.0 experience, or game, I should say. This also came at such a, probably because another reason why it's high on my list, the review key came at such a perfect time where getting a little deep here, apologies, where my grandmother just passed away, and I was kind of dealing with grief and the guilt of not being able to make it back home and not be able to be with my family and a lot of weird conflicting stuff. And being able to sit at home with this game was such a comforting experience. It helped me feel at peace. It helped me breathe. It helped me just kind of forget about life's anxieties for a little bit and just get lost in the rhythms and lost in, again, the killer puzzle mechanics of what Lumines is. I think what Enhance does just in recent years between Res Infinite, Tetris Effect, and now this, and Humanity. I didn't play much of Humanity, but I'll throw Humanity in there as well. What a special studio. And I think this is, between this and Tetris Effect, goes down as 2 of the most riveting puzzle games out there, arcade puzzle games out there.
I love it. We wanted to have you on because I think last episode it was that Janet and I talked about this, and we're like, we're probably not the best spokespeople to talk
Sure.
about this game, but
I'm
really
bad
glad.
at it.
Yeah,
But it's
not
really
great.
good.
Yeah,
I wish I was better at the game, but like it
I'm like, I'm not good at Lumines. that's the other thing, but it's
no
just
way
like
you're as
the
bad
experience.
as me. I promise
Sure.
you. But yeah, as like a vibe, it's so it's so stressful and tranquil at the same time in a way
Yeah.
that really feels like you know how like this sounds kind of like weird, but you know how like sometimes when you were a kid or maybe even as an adult, you go under the covers and breathe in like the carbon dioxide, and then when you come out,
Sure.
you get the fresh air, and
Yep.
you're like, yeah,
Yep.
that feels kind of good, even though it's like if you did that at scale, you would suffocate yourself.
Don't do that.
That's kind of what playing the game feels like, where it's like, yeah, but then you come up and
Auto
it's like,
asphyxiation.
yes, yeah. Well, let's not make it. I don't want this podcast to get banned. You know, I don't know. I don't want to make it weird. I don't want to make it too much. But yeah, it has that like ebb and flow in a way that's like super cool. I think it's a must try for like everybody. I get it's very specific, and like I could not see it through because I just kind of was genuinely not good enough to progress in a way that felt like it was working for me. But the time I had with it was like really engrossing.
Okay. And with that, let's move on to our next game. Oh, hold on. No,
Spoilers.
Number 9.
Number 9.
Citizen Sleeper 2. Wake up, Sleeper. Oh my gosh. This again, a wild year for our top 10s. This is another one that is on this list purely because it was high up on my list. I think this was also my number 2. I absolutely adore Citizen Sleeper 2. I loved the first game. It's equal in quality for me with writing and emotion and just feeling and the way that it makes you see things, even though the game itself is very like point to point. It doesn't have actual like animation for the most part, but I can remember things happening because of how beautifully it is written. And I think for this particular entry, Citizen Sleeper 2 does a lot more gameplay wise. I always love the feeling of the clock is ticking. You have to make decisions and they're not going to be optimal and you don't have everything that you need, but somehow you come through. And in Citizen Sleeper, a lot of the times you don't come through, but life continues and you see what happens. Yeah, like it's not, you're never in the best situation. But because there's all this struggle and darkness, it is so beautiful when there is a point of light, of friendship, of connection between sentient beings who are just trying to help each other out in a world that is so full of exploitation and only caring about the bottom line and people endangered just trying to be themselves. So this game, I think, it came out really early in the year, and I'm kind of sad that maybe if it had come out later, maybe people would have it more on mind. But yeah, I think now I'm talking about it, I'm like, oh, should it have been my number 2? But probably. So good. I love Citizen Sleeper 2.
I got
Yeah.
nothing for you.
Mm-hmm.
Well said.
I wish I was you, Jill. I wish I was you. I just didn't. I didn't
good.
start it yet. But I still have hope that I'll play before the year's done.
Yeah, and then you'll
Which
get
is
back
irrelevant
in
to
our
the
next,
show, but
like January.
But this is perfect.
episode.
It's like on the list, and it's like, so if I do like it, I'll be like, yeah, it worked out. And if I don't, I'll be like, that's none of my business. You know what I mean? Like it's a perfect spot.
That wasn't involved.
So like
in that.
I feel like I didn't, I didn't hold the game back. So I'm glad you were able to take this one because it was such a big release of the year.
Man, now I wish I put like mine that didn't make it as number 1 or number 2. I should have
Right?
just like
I think Mike
next
and I
year.
sort of learned how to game the system a little bit. So I'm
Mhm,
like, if
mhm.
How dare you.
if you hit high, you know that it's at least
It'll
gonna.
like get on
But
there.
like,
Yeah.
there were actually a lot of games like that didn't make it because of the way our lists worked out this year. So I think those
Yeah.
are very few and far between.
Man, I
Actually,
should put Fly Night at number 1.
maybe you should have, Mike. Maybe you
But then
should
you're
have.
killing your own Luminous Arise then.
Yeah.
Which hey,
That's
you want to be at war
true.
with yourself.
You
You
guys
have
think
to use
about
that
it.
judiciously, right?
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. Or I would have
Okay.
affected this next game, which was my number 1.
Ooh, what?
Number
8.
Oh, I'm like, where's
Sorry, it's like
It's such a
queuing up for
smooth
audio
transition.
listeners.
It's really, we're gonna get it. We're gonna get it by the end. Don't worry about
Yeah,
it.
we'll get it by 1.
Number 8, Wander Stop. And this is because it was Mike's number 1 game.
Yeah. Purely because I'm afraid of Jenny. And
Yeah.
I don't want, listen, the threatening letters
get
got to
that a
stop. It's
lot.
the end of the year. It's done. All right. You win. No,
Yeah.
Wander Stop by
Behind the
Ivy
scenes,
Road.
they're like,
Wander Stop from Ivy Road and Annapurna Interactive. Yes, obviously, disclosure. I am friends with Jenny, who worked on this game. Has nothing to do with that. As lovely as Jenny's work on the game is, purely my own opinion. WanderStop is a game that I have not stopped thinking about since rolling credits prior to launch. I think that's a credit to the just remarkable characters that this game holds. It's just like brimming with so many imaginative personalities, and you could connect with so many different individuals in so many different ways, from the smallest little traits to the biggest kind of threads that carry throughout the game. It is heartbreaking. It is hopeful. And what's the most impressive thing about this game and this experience is I've never played, watched, listened, whatever, anything that has handled the themes of burnout so well. And this is, this is towards the beginning of the year. Maybe Jenny could correct me when I say I think I was playing this towards the end of February. Is that right?
Mhm.
Maybe
Yeah.
something like that. So this is like towards the beginning of the year where it's funny, like my top games have obviously have a lot to do with like personal experiences. This was like coming off the heels of trying to scrounge together the Humble Game Showcase towards the beginning of the year, and that was a really stressful production off the heels of doing like the first award show in December, and just like a kind of a rough holiday where I was like dealing with like some really severe side effects of burnout over the holidays. I was just not doing wasn't doing good. And funny enough, I'm starting to feel the same way. So I'm very afraid of the holiday break. And
Just
this
play
game
Wander
came at the
Stop
right.
again. It'll be
I
good.
know, right? The game came out at such a perfect time of like teaching me how to, I don't know, cope, I guess is the way to put it. Cope with the burnout and deal with the burnout and feel assurance of like I'm not the only person who clearly not the only person who goes through this, and I'm not the only person stubborn enough to allow myself to go through this over and over and over again. And even outside of that, the gameplay itself is so fun. It's not traditionally my kind of game, but man, it's so, and hopefully you take this as a compliment, Jenny. It's so Viva Pinata coded in its gameplay loop, and it's so goddamn engaging.
Uh-huh.
I
That is a
love
huge
Viva
compliment.
Pinata. Thank you.
That
Okay.
is a huge
I saw the face. I
compliment.
was like, oh my god, I offended the hell out of her.
No. Like, what
It's
the
just
heck?
Mike's screen goes black.
something about that, like gather ingredients, do the routine of making the tea, finding the correct like combinations and whatnot, that feels so rare, like Viva Pinata studio rare. That really scratched an itch of like just really wishing I had that gameplay loop back in my life for a newer refreshed experience, and WanderStop was able to do that. But yeah, this is a game like how I just started this whole rambling. A game I have not stopped thinking about since rolling credits. And I think it might end up being like Jill, you kind of joked that like just play WanderStop again. It might end up being like an annual play for me at this point. I think it's a very important game. I think it's a very important lesson that a lot of people, including myself, need to continue to learn. And yeah, especially for folks working in the game industry, I think it's a must play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know a single person working in our industry that played this game and wasn't like, "Hey, this is a personal attack on me." Like,
Yeah.
all of us sort of felt that. We're like,
Yeah.
"Okay." So it's like, yeah, you realize you always sort of know that this is a problem that happens, but you do kind of think of it as a like you problem instead of like a
We're in this together.
yeah, we're all in this together. I also really love that it could become a yearly gameplay thing, and maybe it will be for me as well because um, it is in the game that healing and the process of becoming a better version of yourself isn't a narrow, like limited point A to point B journey. It is cyclical. You do fall back, you do go forward. Um, and again, we've talked about this before, Jenny, but like
Mhm.
the fact that that studio got that game out so early for people to play so that they could have the actual time to sit down and play it and really be able to take their time with it. Top 10. Like, I wanna give you an award just for that, you know?
Thank you. I
But
feel
yeah, as
especially
it's
proud that you're noting that because that's something I like really strongly
yeah,
advocated for.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
makes a huge difference. But yeah, it's I'd be hard pressed to see if like Like I know like like Unbeatable is very like high on my anticipated list, and like I'm really stoked about Skate Story, but I'd be hard pressed if anything knocked this down for out of my personal game of the year.
Yeah. Okay.
And then yeah, Jenny, I'll grab the check in a little bit.
Yeah, don't
Also.
worry. Already signed. I'll
Cool.
send it your way.
Sweet, thank you. Yeah.
Full disclosure, I did
I'll send
not. For everyone who does not
This
know,
is a
No,
joke.
This is a joke.
It's a joke.
Just you never know.
None of us have money.
No.
Yeah.
That's really the joke. Okay.
Well, unrelated. It was Jenny at Ivy Road. No.
Moving on. Number 7. Ball Pit. This is mine. I actually am really surprised that this was as high up on my list as it ended up being, but it was the game that kept like coming up. And I was like, oh, I would always get to a point where I'm like, okay, I'm done. But then I would find myself kind of coming back to it. It is such a beautiful fusion of a lot of different kinds of games. This is a kind of Vampire Survivors-esque experience, but then when you add in the village or town or whatever that you are creating because of that, it creates a loop where you're like, I really just need to make sure my village has this or does this or gets this. And then you get characters that you are like, okay, now I need to upgrade them. And there's just always a reason to kind of go back to it. And it's such a satisfying, smart way, not only of like the overall game loop, but just the way that the gameplay and the controls feel, that is really, really hard to put down. Kenny-san, by the way, like always enjoy when they put out a game like the Hatbox game was one of my recent favorites. That is another smart combination of different genres, but I don't know. If you weren't playing Ball Pit this year, what were you doing? You know? That's what I'm saying.
Shout out to
Single
a million
year that I
sales.
wish I put. I was like, oh, I should have put Ball Pit when I saw this.
I was
on the
so
list.
bad when I did the demo that I just didn't want to do the full thing because I like.
Listen,
and I know
it's not about being good or bad. It's about just being in the pit. You know what I'm saying?
It's about being
And I know
live
that's
in
like
the
that's honestly like kind of a humiliating reveal because this is a game that people were like, you don't have to think at all, and I'm like, I couldn't do it. Like,
you
I
have to
just
think.
could, like I'm like I don't know, I was bad at it, but shout out to like Breakout Vibes because I love Breakout.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, it's funny. There's so many of these. I don't want to say like this genre or this, but like this style or vibe of game of like numbers go burr kind of game
Mhm.
out this year. Like Ball Pit,
Assets on
Clover Pit.
screen.
Yeah, Ball Pit, Clover Pit, Slots and Daggers, Nubby's Number Factory. But man, Ball Pit rocks.
Yeah.
Kenny and the gang, my favorite band, really knocked these systems out of the park. And I'm stoked that like they just announced this week 1 million sales, which is huge.
That's wild to think about too.
Yeah.
That's so
Yeah.
many.
Crazy. So many balls. More DLC coming or DLC confirmed for next year, which is exciting. So yeah. Shout out.
Shout out. Okay, I think we're coming up on a game where neither Mike nor I are going to talk about it.
You didn't do the
Number
number thing,
6.
Jill? Yeah,
Number
number
6.
six.
Sorry.
Jill, I thought you were doing it. That's why I stopped doing it. I was like, I don't want to be talking about. Okay, whatever. Number 6. Despelote, developed by Julian Cordero and Sebastian Valbuena, and published by Panic. This is a game about what soccer means to a community and a culture. This is taking place. It's like set in Ecuador, 2001. In the lead up to what's going on with Ecuador qualifying for the World Cup. Are they going to make it? That's the through line of the plot, from the perspective of a child. Like you play as a child in Ecuador at this time, and you're living your life, going to school, getting called in, for dinner from your mom, things like that, like childhood things, all with this backdrop of what's going on with the soccer team and what is soccer starting to mean to this community. And you can also like kick around a ball as you're exploring the space. So this is like a big eavesdrop game, which is like kind of one of my favorite styles of walking sim. Like I would put the genre of this game in the walking sim category personally. And I love that in games. Like I like being able to go around and like just sit and listen in on a conversation, and this does that really well. And it feels, I also like love a game where you don't necessarily pick up on every single thing being said, because there are so many conversations happening around you. You can't fully tune in to one or the other. It just feels very realistic in a way that ends up feeling cozy. I feel like in my real life that kind of becomes a little overstimulating sometimes when it's like I can't lock in on the right conversation. But in a game, because you have the control of like maneuverability coming back, it just sort of hits different. And maybe bearing the lead here a little bit, but it has a really striking art style of sort of having this like photorealism combined with like pointillism almost, where like the photos are made to be so grainy. It kind of reminds me of pointillism, like in terms of like the painting world. And without giving too much away, this game is also very much a like reflection from the people that made it, right? Like imposing their personal life onto it, but also like what's cool about this game is that it's looking at someone's life and what they imagined it would have been if they were old enough to remember a moment in time. Because basically like one of the things like it's discussed or shown in this game is that like the team wasn't quite like the age to like have hit as hard because they were like younger, but they were like, yeah, but like I know what it meant, so let me kind of almost reimagine what would it be like to be like a kid in the scenario. And I think that's really cool. And honestly, what elevated this game for me, because I play a lot of narrative games and I'm just kind of a stickler in general, so this wasn't immediately like lighting my world on fire. I was enjoying it. I'm also a big soccer fan, which I should point out. I was like, oh yeah, it's cool. And then the ending of the game, again, without spoiling it, I think is so beautifully done that it like elevated the game a whole like half to full star point of like, I do like the 5-star rating on Backlogged and on my website. And I've been thinking about that 5 stars all the time. That's like how I conceptualize rating things. And it just felt like, without being, I don't want to be too dramatic about like how good it is, but I think endings of things are really difficult, like in any medium. And video game endings, I don't know, tend to be kind of just like, and you finished it. I mean, a lot of times you like beat like whatever boss or whatever, and you're like, okay, cool, like I did it, and you feel accomplished, and that's great. I mean, I chase that feeling all the time. But here, it just felt like the way they presented it, it was simple, but it felt like such an amalgamation of what some of the big takeaways from this, which is just like being in a space and having like a sport connect you. And I think that was it was just so beautifully encompassed by that last scene. This is just like a really special, unique, different game. You know, it's not perfect. I'm not like, I have a couple gripes here and there with it, but I think it's just such a special title and such a standout in this genre. I really enjoyed my time with Despelote. And again, as a soccer fan, I love what it does for frankly, like making gamers think about sports in a way that isn't like, oh my God, my timeline's talking about this sport I'm not watching. It's like, look, you don't think I'm bitter when I'm reading your wrestling posts? I am. I don't say anything because I don't want to be a dick. And I think we could all stand to be a little bit less of a dick when it comes to sports as well. So I like that because I think it's for people that don't follow sports, the community aspect is something that I think gets, for some reason, really overlooked. I think people just see, I don't know, you watch a game, like, who cares? But it's like, well, it's so much more than that. It's like this, like, the game's so much more than just watching it. It's all the other things you get. And I think this game shows that in a really cool way. Yeah.
But Janet, Dominic Mysterio is 2-time Intercontinental Champion now after last Sunday. Sorry,
and you know what? I love that for you. And I'm gonna scroll and be like, I don't get it, but like, that's your thing. You know I got my thing, you got your thing. I wish our things were the same. We have some things that are the same, and that's fun. Yeah. Yes, but yeah. So
one of them is definitely not the Dodgers, but hey,
I'm hoping it. I guess it melted the frozen hearts of sports hating games media, of which there are many of you. And I see you, and I'm annoyed by you. So, hello.
Well, I'm not a sports hater. I feel like what I loved about Despelote is that I have always wanted to, because I've just never been engaged by sports. And so,
Step
but
into my web.
I know, but I'm like, oh man, it's like I want to be engaged by sports. It's just like I just don't conceptualize it. I just haven't connected with it. And this game did for me emotionally about sports what Ted Lasso also did as a TV show for me about
Yeah.
sports, where I
Sure.
was
Yeah.
like, yeah, I still don't understand all the rules of the game. I still don't know what really is happening, but man, I feel so compelled and so like in it with everyone because everyone else is in it. And it captured that feeling, like you said, exactly of community and celebration together, where I was like, oh my God, I think I know what it's like to be a sports fan, like in the best way possible. So yeah, I loved this game. I also had this on my list and it's just I was surprised at how much I felt invested as a non-sports person in this game.
Yeah, I think not to turn into the Despelose cast, but another thing I want to touch on that you brought up, Jenny, is I think that's an important distinction for this game. It's definitely not it's not a game about like sports fanatics, which could still be like a really fun game too. It's just like regular people where sports is happening. And I think even if you don't like sports, you've been in those moments where you're at like someone's house for like the Super Bowl party, or you're noticing everyone's watching this thing, and it starts to become kind of infectious. And I think the game does like a great job of capturing that infectiousness in a way that's more all encompassing than what you might think of when you think of like, because like any fandom, sports has its problems of the people who are like, oh, you're watching this, but did you earn the right to watch it? It's like, okay, you guys also suck. Like, we don't like, I don't rock with them either. But it has that of people like learning the game as they're like, oh yeah, like, wait, so what is offsides again? Oh, I think it's, and you hear these conversations like between the parents where it's not just like people that live and breathe the sport, but like the way it kind of fuses with society and like becomes the moment in time is so lovely. But
Also, shout out to Pop Agenda for getting games in front of people's eyeballs like this.
Pop Agenda marketed title as well.
Yep. Okay, on to our next game. Number 5. There, I did it just for you, Janet.
Thank you.
And Roger.
'Tis I and Roger boy.
And Roger boy.
Do we want to avoid spoilers? Because I feel like there's probably plenty of people who still have not played this game.
Yeah, avoid spoilers as much as possible, I think. Janet was about to disagree with me, I think.
A little bit. My vote is, can you give a non-spoiler pitch and then do like a, I don't know. Jenny, what do you
I will say it's going to be difficult for me to explain why I love this game so much without spoilers.
That's the
but
thing,
I will do my
yeah.
best.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was gonna say,
we can
I
do
think,
like overall non-spoiler and then boop boop boop, get out of here. And
yeah, just like, hey, fast forward in like a minute and we'll put a timestamp or something.
Which, a quick interjection on that too before you get into it. I think, because I know there's always people like this where they're like, hey, I didn't play the game, I wanted to play it, and like you said don't listen, but like I listened anyway, which I see you're valid. I'm kind of like that too. I do think it's a game that's still enjoyable, impactful, and worth playing even if you do get it spoiled. But I think the ideal way is to not know much about the game going in.
Yeah.
But I think if you listen to this and you're like, damn, that sounded cool, oh no, I ruined it for myself, I think still play it, because I think it's still totally worth playing.
And I think
Even the way
you find out like the thing that we're sort of talking around, you find out about that, I feel like, relatively quickly in the game.
Yeah.
Like you will probably intuit it very, very quickly, and then they confirm it pretty shortly after that. So it's not
and
like a deep game
way-
spoiler.
The way I'm
That
going to
too.
talk about it is not going to directly spoil the thing, but a related side effect of said thing.
Why don't you go ahead, give an overview of your thoughts, and then we'll jump into spoilers.
I'm just going to read the Steam description to be safe.
It's good.
It was a morning like all others until she realized her dad wasn't home. In his place, a stranger who speaks nonsense and insists she, quote, takes her medicine. Who is he? Where is dad? Horrifying setup, creepy vibes. Oh my God, what is this game about? Does the wonderful thing of subverting expectations. Of you jump into this game, you think it's one thing, and then as it progresses, it becomes another thing. That initial thought, harrowing in itself, but it becomes so much stronger as you progress through this young woman's story and world through her eyes.
Okay, I think with that, it's a warning, warning, warning. We are going to spoil now.
Give me like 3 minutes, and then you could come back. All
Yeah.
right. So, it's a story about a young woman. If we're going to confirm the thing, they don't like outright say it, but it's dementia, are we assuming?
Yeah, we've got Alzheimer's
Yeah.
here.
Right.
Yeah.
Or Alzheimer's. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you're playing as a young woman suffering from Alzheimer's dementia. They don't like outright say it, but that's what the implication is. And it is just such a harrowing and wonderful, like wonderful in such a weird way, but like, I don't know, cathartic lens into what that experience may be in real life, and you know, helping your loved ones who may be suffering from similar ailments. Just talking about the game itself first, I really appreciate how uh the gameplay mechanics themselves tie into that, and like where you are struggling to actually play through the game, similar to how the protagonist may be struggling in her day-to-day life.
Mhm.
I think it's such like a brilliant implementation of like, I think like there's an argument for these kind of like quote unquote visual novel style games of like, oh well, it could have just been a movie, it could have just been a short film, but like no, this game actually does like the game side of things like really really damn well.
Yeah.
Similar to like, I consider this like in the same kind of umbrella as a Florence. I think it's a Florence. Like I think Florence does something similar with how it implements it, like intrinsically ties its gameplay into the narrative, which makes it so much stronger. And again, funny enough, similar to Illuminez and similar to Wanderstop, another really deeply personal game that really hit home for me. While it wasn't dementia or Alzheimer's, when my dad was like took a turn for the worse when he was fighting cancer, he completely lost himself. Like he didn't know who he was, didn't know where he was, didn't know who he was speaking to. He The last couple days when he tried to communicate in English, like it was just all gibberish, but I think in his mind he thought he was speaking English. So I will say playing this game in a public setting was the worst fucking idea on the planet.
When Mike told
I
us that he'd done it on a train, we're like,
Yeah.
there's no way.
Rough. I I held it together until I made it to the bathroom to like fucking break down a little bit. But yeah, it handles that experience with such realism and care, and it fucking hit real hard, especially yeah, this year was 10 years since I lost my dad, and I've been doing a lot of reflecting this year on him and like what the end of things started to kind of play out, or how they started playing out. And it was a stark reminder of those final few days, what like it was himself transitioning like 24 hours later into a lot of this like, I'm saying gibberish. I don't mean to use that term as like a harsh term, but like that's like kind of just the best way I could describe it. So normal into gibberish speak, and then into just being a hollow shell of himself, where he was just unresponsive and there was nothing there anymore. Like his spirit, his soul was gone. If you believe in that kind of stuff, his soul was just gone. Um, yeah. So another deeply personal game on my front, really high up on my list for the year for said reason. We talked about it when we talked about the game originally. Also like a lot of there's like a lot of Christian, like biblical ties to the game, but I think this game handles that with a lot of care, where it's
Yeah.
not like,
It's not
and I think we
preaching
talked
or
about this.
anything.
Yeah, it's not infringing. It's not like shoving like scripture down your throat or anything like that. I think it's it's like, hot take, this is like kind of what the Bible was like intended to be used as like a guideline, and like it just a helping kind of way, instead of just like starting wars and shit.
Hot take. What
But
if the
yeah.
Bible was good? Like, just
Crazy.
What? I want to jump in
Bible
and
as a
talk
mechanic.
about that a lot of games that deal with dementia and mental health of this sort tend to focus on the people who are caring for the person who is sick.
Yeah.
I think this is one
Mm.
of the games
It's interesting.
that does something so brilliant in that it puts you in the shoes of someone who is dealing with this, both in the story, but also as Mike talked about mechanically. All of the controls are so interesting because they're not frustrating because you don't understand. Like, you understand what you're supposed to do. Like, it's such a really fine line and really, really hard to hit. And I'm like, I can't believe they did it. You know exactly what you're supposed to do, even though you're not given really any direction. You're not told, okay, this is how you do this thing or move this thing or whatever. But it's very intuitive gameplay. But the way that it is so easy to understand, it's frustrating because this should be working and I know I'm doing the right thing and it's not, which is exactly what the main character is feeling going through this whole situation. I had a really interesting conversation with someone um, who talked about that first transition period from it starts out as a kind of like, I don't know who this scary man is trying to give me drugs situation, to us realizing, oh, that's her partner. She doesn't recognize him because she's got Alzheimer's. Um, and they talked about that being like a cheap scare. Like, oh, it's scary, but it's not. And I'm like, I don't think that that's what they were going for. I think this is really one of the only games of this type that really go into how scary it must be for your reality not to match what the reality is in your head. And I think that was an excellent way to do that. In other games that just do like, isn't it sad that they don't remember like who their daughter is or whatever, like, and that can hit really hard. But like being in a personal space where you're like, I'm freaked out on what's going on, and then to realize, oh, it's not what I thought it was, but also the character can't have that realization and feel better about it, like that really hit for me.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
also
it's
agree that
wonderful.
the tonal shift makes sense for it. Even though,
Yeah.
admittedly, I was like so obsessed with the demo where it was like just fucked up, and then when it became like a nicer story, I was like, "Ugh, I kind of want to be, I kind of want it to be fucked up in a way," which I know that's like a personal taste thing. But yeah, I mean, I think this game, it's funny. Like every year, I forget this happens. Like us talking about this, I was like, damn. Should I have rated this higher on my list? Like, because it is really great. There are a couple puzzles that I think are like too on the obtuse side, but there's not that many. Most of them are really well done. And this is like one of the few games that like did make me tear up. I'm like very much like a robot when it comes to crying at sad stuff. I like just watch a lot of sad stuff. I read a lot of sad stuff. When you're an English major, nothing bothers you anymore. You know what I mean? They broke that out of me a long time ago, but I think the writing in here, I love the writing in this game as well, because I think they do a lot with a little. I'm sure if you wrote out all the words in this game, it wouldn't be a wildly long piece of text. But the way they pair it with like the whole experience of it, there was a part of this game where like I did tear up. It was just so, I think because as well, kind of like to your point, Mike, it's a great piece of art that also is constructed in a way that allows you to so easily impose yourself onto the characters, even if you don't have like those direct experiences, like this being like a couple. Like I think of my life with my partner and like what, like how like hard that would be. And there's just like a really beautiful moment of, I think, you know, I don't want to totally spoil it, of kind of just looking at photographs that really got me. I was like, damn. And it's like, and it just, you know, a simple line, but when you pair it with everything, like I think this game has, generally like such a good delicate touch, where this is one of those rare video games where like the all of it really creates the experience, you know, where it's the full package and it's constantly all in conversation with each other. Definitely I think a must play for narrative fans. Even if you end up not being as hot on it, I feel like this is going to be one of those with Florence, like in that conversation of like this style of game that takes interactivity through mini games and does something really creative with it, which I'm sure Consumi will also kind of be in some of those conversations as well. Even though I haven't played it yet because I'm a bad person. So
I'll also say just practically doing a lot of these puzzles, because on the Steam Deck it's mostly touchscreen. On a shaking, crazy train, very difficult. There's no precision. I played this game on hard mode. It
Yeah,
was rough. I do not recommend.
100%. Don't do that. Don't play it on a train if you can help it. This game, we'll talk more, of course, about where everything kind of landed and how it worked out. But I do want to point out this is our number 5 game, so we're now in our top 5. This game is the only game in the entirety of this list that was on all 4 of our lists.
That's so interesting.
Yes. So, let's move on. We're in the top 5. We're going to move on to number 4.
Can't believe you stole the 4
Keep-
from Borderlands 4.
Keep driving.
Keep driving.
Yeah, this is a game that has lived in my head rent-free since it came out. I love this game, and also think it's really, really fantastic. I think this is another, if you like narrative games, you should at least try this title. I do think that so basically what it is, it's a management RPG. It's 2D. It's about being on a road trip. That's like the general pitch of the game. Pixelated art. A couple deviations mechanically here and there that I might get into depending on how long this little spiel goes. But that's the setup of the game. Heavily like incredible nostalgic vibes through its OST, which is just like licensed music that they like, had a deal to use of just like indie music, but it's so good. It works so well. And basically the system of the game is you have, again, inventory management. So you like are picking up items / bring items with you in your car, and you have like Resident Evil style inventory management to deal with. And those items, there's many uses for them, but some of the most simple ones are like maybe boosting your energy or filling the car with gas, etc. And basically what the mechanics are kind of like mainly twofold. There's a little bit more, but it's mostly you're on the road. There's road events that happen, and you have a very like simple card game that you play. It's maybe slightly more complex than Signs of Sojourner, which is to say that it's like a very simplistic system. That being said, I think that might be on a technical level the weakest part of the game. I think sometimes those, the mechanics there aren't like wildly exciting. But I think what they serve to do is create investment and a structure for you to plan what you're like picking up. And how you're like managing your like money and why you might like, oh, let me take a job here. And I think all of that is in service of what this game does really well, which is just like the narrative of it. You can like pick up hitchhikers, and they have like mechanics too that function with the road events and things. But you'll have different people that maybe want to like go different places or do different things. And you also have your own kind of idea. Like I think the initial thing you set out to do is meet up with your friend at like a music festival. Yeah. But like maybe along the way, you end up doing some other stuff. And it's just like, it's like, it truly just feels like an adventure. It kind of is honestly like a modern day Oregon Trail, where it has like a lot of similar situations of, oh man, this thing happened. I'm trying to like, take care. Oh, my car is breaking down. I need to rest. I need to do this. But you have a bit more autonomy over your survival. While like Oregon Trail, I think like OG Oregon Trail, it's a little bit like, something bad happened. I guess I'll just kind of restart. And it also, original Oregon Trail kind of lacks like more of those deeper narrative flavors. So the Apple Arcade version is quite good as well. Yeah, and just so many different things can happen. This is also a game that I think does a lot with a little. There's not a bunch of deep back and forth or cutscenes, but I think what they do with the stories end up being really engrossing, whether it's a surprise ending to a hitchhiker's arc where it's like, oh, I have this little tropey character. Oh, I didn't think this is where it would go. Wow, that's really interesting. Or something that's like visually stunning, which is kind of wild for a game that has, pretty simple pixelated graphics. There's a route you can do that's just like you end up going to the top of this like mountaintop. And genuinely, the climb there was so difficult in terms of inventory management and doing all these road events. So tough. And the view was so beautiful that you get at the end of it that I took my phone out and just took a picture of it. Didn't even post it, just to have, you know what I mean? Like as if it was my actual life.
Your real road trip, yeah.
Yeah, and like this is how this game is. And there's like, if you're looking for a bunch to sink your teeth into, it has a bunch of, different endings, different options. Admittedly, I've only gotten like one of the endings because you can also like kind of fail in situations as well, which I did many times. But yeah, it's just like I knew I was going to like this game when it asks, like, when you do your character, like, kind of customization, they say, what's your relationship like with your parents? And I said, this is gonna fucking rip. And it did. I think this game is so special, so cool. I really want everyone to try it. I've had people try it and love it. I've also had people try it and be like, it didn't really hit for me. I don't even care. Play it and hate it and at me, and I'll be like, hey, it's worth
Sorry,
it.
you have bad taste. Sorry, you have bad taste.
It's worth the risk, because honestly, like, I think for the people that it hits for, it hits very hard. And keep in mind that, you know, Steam does have a return policy. So I think you'll know if it's not clicking with you pretty early into the experience, and then, hey, no harm, no foul. But on the best case scenario, you might get one of your favorite games of the year. This game came out in February, and it has barely moved from my whole top 10 list, not just indie console, but throw in AAA, throw in whatever. Mm-hmm. Literally, it went down 2 slots in the whole year. It started as my game of the year, then Claire came, then Silk Song snuck in a little bit, and like, this has been hard lucked at number 3 for me on like my entire list. So yeah, nothing but great things to say about this, and hoping to play some more before the year's done, so I can refresh myself on all the things that I loved about it. But yeah, this game is so great.
I did not know you went so hard for this game, and I respect the fuck out of it.
Were you one of the people that you were like, I'm good?
It didn't work for me. Yeah.
Yeah. Was it the cards?
It was the cards.
I understand.
Because the
cards are like a little bit weak, but they're like in service of the other structures. But I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that was,
and just like,
sorry, that's your bad opinion, Mike.
It is. No, I mean, I think you're correct.
For me,
I worked through that and got to the other stuff. But no, you're totally right.
I couldn't work through all the systems happening, and I was like, you know what? It's okay. Shout out to YCJY. I adore Post Void. That's more my vibe from them.
Yeah. All I ask is that people play it. I'll never ask that you like it, but yeah, no, and you're totally right. That's the big sticking point, which I think also like speaks to the game as well, right? Where it's like a lot of great games have things that you know are the weak link, and for some people that is like a break. And for me, I was able to have that not bother me enough to stop me from the other aspects. But yeah, you are not wrong.
I actually really like that part of the game though, because I'm a sicko, and it's really like strategy coded, so it's a real strategy element in a game.
But it's a bit crunchy. It's like a little like, you know, it's not science fiction genre, right? Where it's like that just feels like so smooth with everything, and this is like we're pushing back. And also, we're not like...
I'm like, I've got a strategy. You know? I've got duct tape in my glove compartment. I've got... I've got all my skills ready to go. I'm like, I got
I'm like, it breaks down. We start another run. We persist. But yeah, I mean, there's so many like cool little details in this game too. Yeah. So
the 2 things I want to shout out for Keep Driving very quickly is just the sense of nostalgia that I have never had for road trips. Road trips don't really appeal to me in reality, but this somehow is able to instill such nostalgia for a time and a place that never happened for me, and arguably never happened really. And I love that they're able to do that with all of these combined elements of story and visuals and everything going on. I think it's also one of the games of the year that has the most important choice making elements, because we always talk about games that like where your choices matter. It's like you can have a such different experience depending on the choices you make, even though maybe you're not even knowingly like that decision in the beginning with like how close are you to your family. I was already role playing. My guy was like a little bit of a rebel trying to get out into the world. So like I said that my family connection real low. And it turns out that's not good when you get into trouble. But like that makes sense narratively, because if you're not close with your family, they won't come get you when you are in trouble.
I mean, again, it's getting kind of dark, but this is like something that happened to me in the game. And I don't want to give too many examples because I think the fun is like seeing what happens. But like I was too far, like I was busy doing other stuff, and like I had a family member in the game that was like sick, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to make my way there. And like I didn't get there in time. And it's like, fuck, you know what I mean? Like it just has stuff like and there's other traits you can pick up in this game that are so cool, where it's like I really wanted to get money because like I wanted to buy shit so I could survive on the road. And I was just working and working, and it's my vacation, but I'm just fucking working. And like, what else is new? Am I right? And I got the trait, boom, workaholic. And I said, we talking about games calling you out? I said, oh shit, hold on. No, I didn't want this life for myself. So yeah, it has, if you like that kind of stuff, there's a lot of fun little treats and surprises in this game in that regard.
Okay, everybody, are you ready? We're about to enter a whole new stage.
Damn, this is how I realized my game didn't make the good stage.
Number 3. We are in our
Number
top 3 of the Indie Informer year.
The actual good games of the year. No, I'm just
Claire
kidding.
Obscure Expedition 33.
I know. I was like,
actually, wait, that's the Horizon theme. Never mind.
oh, Claire Obscure Expedition 33. How do I count the ways? It's just like this game has really just exploded. I feel like when it launched, nobody was really tracking it. I feel like it was kind of on the radar of some folks who were diehard RPG fans, folks who knew about Kepler and maybe had seen some other games from the publisher, had it on their radar. But as far as being the behemoth it is today, I don't think anyone could have really predicted that it would have hit this hard. I have a very soft spot just because I used to be on the Kepler team, and so just having seen some of the early stuff in this game and some of the early work that the team did, I wasn't there for launch, so I can benefit from being like, I'm not associated anymore, and I can just hype this game up completely free of any like obligation. If for some reason you have not heard of Claire Obscure Expedition 33, this is a turn-based RPG with some I would say like quick time, reactionary time mechanics embedded within it. And the story is of a world that is constantly dealing with cataclysm. There is a paintress who every year counts down and paints a number on this obelisk. And that year, the people who are that age are gamaged. They are evaporated. And these expeditioners are trying to go on this journey to figure out how to stop the paintress from doing this ever again. And it has what I love in any epic story where you have the really intimate personal relationships between your party members, the connections that they make, the little conflicts that they have, but the ways they form a found family amidst this again really existential crisis, that your population is being decimated, that you are possibly one of the last hopes for your people. And I think that's such a compelling question to ask. And what would you do to plant seeds for the future? What would you do if you could provide just a little bit more hope for those who come after? It's an incredibly compelling story, and I think the way that people have latched onto it, not just, in sort of talking on forums and in the games media space, but you go to a convention and there are quite literally, like, hordes of people wearing the French baguette outfits from this game because it's made such a connection. So it's accessible, I feel like, while challenging if you play on like, the main and maybe harder modes. They've added a story mode so that if you are not familiar with this kind of gameplay, you're still able to access the story, which I think is really, really great of the team to consider that because it is also a mechanically challenging and compelling game. I feel like the challenge of this combat system where it's not just like not every other, but it's not like the traditional turn-based battle where you could grind and I mean, I guess you technically could. You can grind, get strong, get OP, and like hit everyone with basic attacks and win. But the joy of this game's combat system comes from both learning the timing of how to dodge and how to parry so that you are maximizing even when you're not actively attacking. And then it also comes from the ways that you can build out your characters using the things they called like Pictos, Luminas, and all the skills that you acquire as you journey. And so it becomes really customizable to your style of play. I can't speak highly enough of this game. It's made me cry countless times. Like I feel like every time I booted it up, I cried at something. I'm not like Janet. I cry at everything, but I also feel like I do cry when it's like warranted. It's definitely warranted in this game. And yeah, I mean, this for me turned out to be my game of the year. It's just it's captured my heart, my soul. I've been replaying Final Fantasy X over the last 2 months, and the ways that it harkens back to also Final Fantasy X and a lot of like genre greats feels amazing. So it's got this nostalgia as well as a fresh take on like what do RPGs look like as we move forward. So I love this game.
If I may, just to throw it out there, I did fuck up and forget to put this on my list because when I was rushing to get my list to Jill, I was just looking at my Steam library. And I was like, oh yeah, these are all the video games I played. I played this on PlayStation. Didn't take that into consideration. I mean, it's no Fly Night.
I want to
But,
point
like, you
out,
know.
I gave everybody the list weeks ago. So
I was
I'm
gonna
not-
mention
I'm
that.
not
I'm like,
pushing
Man,
anybody.
we all
I've been
procrastinated.
busy.
I'm like, to be clear, we all did it like Jill was like, I'd love
past
to have it
24
before
hours.
Monday, and we did it like on Monday/Tuesday.
No, Janet
so
did it on Monday, and she was the first
I
person
did it
to
on
turn hers
Tuesday.
in.
the fact
I
that
did it
I
last
did it
night,
late
yeah.
and I was the first person, I think kind of gives the vibe that we have here.
Oh my gosh.
Outside
It may
of
or
Jill,
may
Jill's
not
very
have
on it.
been Wednesday morning when Mike technically
No, it
speaking-
was
was when?
Tuesday night.
when Tuesday night, Mike.
I like to think we wanted to try to play just one
my
more
Discord.
game before we sent
That's
it off to you, Jill.
honestly, I was
Okay,
like,
while Mike is
trying
looking
to-
that up,
Yeah.
just
speaking
trying to
of-
finish.
Listen,
Claire
it was
Obscure just
6
for
o'clock
this.
your time.
but what time was it your time, Mike? What time was it your time?
9:10. It's okay.
It was 9 o'clock in the
I
evening
was-
when he sent his list to me.
Listen,
saying.
I was watching NXT. I was watching Javon Evans and Joe Hendry do their thing. I was like, ah, shit, I need to get Jill this list. So let me scroll
Yeah.
through my Steam app and see what I played this year.
I did. I am playing through this game currently. I am
Okay.
in Act 2.
Okay.
Nice.
I just beat an Axon.
Okay.
Okay.
Whatever it
Nice.
is.
Yeah. I
Um,
remember.
So that's where I am. I haven't seen the ending, so I'm gonna guess there's some crying, more crying going on in my life. But I think this game performances amazing. Like the world building, fantastic.
I sense a butt coming.
Would I do that? I think there are
Yes.
games who have done the turn-based, but actually you're doing active stuff as well. So I'm surprised that a lot of people
So you
I
avoided
think
the butt.
what I think what gets me
Clever.
I think what gets me here is that I think people give this game a lot more credit for that particular mechanic because it's pretty. I think the production value of this game very, very high,
Like,
and
give
that got
100 mile.
people into the game, which it really kind of it's one of my pet peeves of people playing indie games and being like, oh, obviously game better because it's realistic looking.
Yes. Okay. You're
Go
not
for it,
wrong
Janet.
on
Go
that
for it,
aspect,
Janet.
but like, the way that my sleeves are rolling up, Jill. I'm so okay. So
Okay, one more thing. I want to throw in one
Okay,
more
no,
thing
no,
before you start because you're going to argue with me on this one too.
yeah,
I think the game also has so many systems that are not necessarily in congruence with each other. So there's just a lot
Ooh.
happening everywhere, and I'm like, I kind of wish, like, I'm now in Act 2. I'm like 20 something hours in the game, and now I'm learning a whole new attack style.
I'm having
and I'm
an
like,
allergic
why?
reaction to this opinion.
Before Janet goes in, if I
Yes.
may, just like
Uh-huh.
the most like base level simple thing.
Uh-huh.
This is traditionally not my kind of game. I'm not turn-based boy outside of Pokemon. I do like the style of game in terms of like your Paper Mario's, your Mario RPG, stuff like that. There are
Sure.
other games that have done this style. Even Fretless did it this year.
Yeah.
Which another game that really clicked with me and did make my list. There's something about this game that just worked for me. I can't tell you what it is, but like compared to other games I did put down, like there is something about the systems and the mechanics and the feel that do all concurrently, wow, I can't talk. You know what I'm trying to say. Work with one another
They go
in such a
together.
fluid manner.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jesus. The second liquid death is wearing off. And like similar to my what didn't work for me for Keep Driving, where I felt so overwhelmed by the systems, even though there is so much system in this game, it just made sense to me for some reason. I think that has to do a lot with just the onboarding, the UI, the feel, the mechanics, and like, yeah, sure, that it's pretty and that helps. But I think it's just the responsiveness and the care that went into what's happening behind the engines that really worked for me.
Yeah, I think to your credit, Jill, like I think to a degree, like the tutorialization is one of the I think weakest aspects of the game. I think they could benefit
agree,
from
yeah.
having
Yeah.
either more clear tutorialization, excuse me, or just a way to kind of like get a crash course a little bit. Because I'm not gonna lie to you, I turned to Isaiah and I said, "Wait, what? What do I do with the you know?" Because I do think it has a lot going on. And I do think it can end up being you're not the first person that I've heard from being like, this is kind of confusing, or even worse, of like not engaging with certain systems and then missing like really core aspects of the game, which to you and everyone else who has that complaint's credit, I do think the game could do a better job doing that. You know, I don't think Clair Obscur is perfect. I have so many beefs with the map and then lack of mini map and then
I think, if I may, the overworld is ass. I don't think we need the overworld. I'm just gonna throw it out there.
I'm
don't
torn
mind
on the
the
overworld.
overworld.
I think it's
Or at least,
fine,
like,
but I want
at
to know
least,
what's
like,
going on.
navigating the overworld.
Give
I'm
me a
not a fan.
checklist to give. Yeah,
Yeah.
I would like
Yeah.
some more quality of life features in Clair Obscur, and I think, in my opinion, with obviously, of course, I think my ideas are right because they're mine, right? That's why I think them. Duh. But if they made like a definitive edition of this and had some quality of life things, I think this would be a 10 out of 10. Instead, it's a 9 out of 10, which, hey, that's already really high. So I'm plenty happy. But the thing that pained me, Jill, to hear from you was the systems not working well together, because obviously that's your perspective, and I'm not going to tell you that that's wrong from your perspective.
Like synergistically, like I
Okay.
understand. I have a really cool system of like
Because that's
this, but it's like what I mean about that is more like, okay, why does this person have to be okay? Now I have to remember what foretell is and card systems and the moon
Yeah.
and the sun, and now I
I
have
do
to
agree with
remember
that.
what
Like, I straight up avoided certain characters because I was like, I
Yeah.
can't remember different
That's fair.
systems right
That's
now.
fair.
Like, I'll stick with my 4 people.
it's
and
like
then
it's.
we're good.
I think it's hard because I know it's a good system. And they're cool.
Yeah.
And in my
Does it help that they're
neuroses,
actually
I
all the
wanna-
same system, just with
I
different
wanna-
like?
I want to dig into it and be like, oh, if I want to like min max all of it and dig so
Yeah.
deep into all of it, but I can't because I'm like, okay, I can't remember all these systems. I just got the new character
Minoko?
with the masks, yeah,
Mhm.
and I'm like, that's such a cool
Fuzzy
thing.
Wuzzy?
I put him into my party because I want to engage with that system, but I don't. Now I'm like, okay, now all my systems are thrown off because they were all for these people, and now that feels weird. And
See, but you gotta like you gotta just let go. You know what I
Just
mean?
gotta
Like,
let
go with the flow. And I think if you end up being, in Mike's boat of like, that's cool, I ain't reading all that, I'm rocking with my core 4 or whatever you have. I think, whatever gets you engaged and interested. For me, that's actually one of the things I really loved about the game and found really impressive. The fact that hours and hours in, they're like, here's a new character. I think so many games force you to like switch out your characters or try new characters, and there's like 1, maybe 2 small instances where they do the classic, oops, someone fell off the cliff and now I'm with just like this party or whatever. They do that once, maybe twice in the whole game, but for the most part they kind of just let you do what you want to do. And I think that speaks to not only their confidence in the systems they built, but how well different things work together, where you can have like wildly different, almost like your party becomes almost like a build.
Mhm.
Or like, I feel like so many these characters function almost like decks of cards that you're like collecting. The way the synergies work together, where you're like, oh, actually, this is the goated team. Or you might encounter something like in the world, whether it's like a Picto, or you like, spec into like with your Lumina, and then you can suddenly change what you're doing, or like something ends up clicking for you. So, I might get something with like Minoko, he has like the wheel spinning situation. I'm like, oh, I have
want to
this.
get him so many legs. I just
It's
want
like,
to go
I
out
have-
and get him some
Yes.
legs,
And I think that's some more people to like incentivize playing with him. And then once I did, because I'm like, okay, well, I want to collect these things. Sure, let me rock with Minoko. I was like, oh, actually, I'm really enjoying this because I added this element where the wheel always starts with a certain thing, where every time I shoot, the wheel turns. And now I'm doing all these different things. And this game is like such a from planning out things, like a flow state game where when you like come up with your systems, it's really cool. And they also have enemies that I think will sometimes like mess with systems you have where you're like, well, I can't do physical damage on this person. So, okay, well now I gotta pivot to do this thing. And
I got
think
so
that
screwed
stuff,
at one of the enemies for that particular reason. I was just
but
like,
I think
dang it.
that's part for me. That's
Yeah,
part of like the
I
fun
liked
of
that.
it.
I liked that. That was great. I do think maybe if there was like, because I want to love it and I want to fully, deeply love everyone's system, and I can't. There's literally no way to like be as in it as I want.
Yeah.
And that's sad. But it is a sad game.
For the
I've
record,
been a little
I was
sad.
trying.
Yep.
Sorry, for the record, I was trying to share Minoko's banger fucking theme, but I guess I can't share audio.
I'm sorry. I was like, Mike, I can't hear it at all, and I know I want to hear
It usually gives
whatever
me,
you're
it
sharing.
usually gives me the option to share audio, but yeah, whatever. Anyway, banger.
But yeah, like I think it's like a finalish thing. I do agree with you, Jill, that like there is an aspect of the conversation around this game that does feel, as someone that's newer to like really diving into RPGs, that some of it is like maybe you just haven't played as many RPGs, because there are some of the things they do are not new, right? The idea of like a cast you like is not new, but they do it all so well that I think that's kind of where the specialness comes into play. Like for me, it's not just that like you can dodge and you can parry. It's the fact that like this is working with like all these, they have so many like different like cogs, and when you like have them all firing, like the machine is just so beautiful to like watch in motion. And I love that everyone's looks kind of differently. Like I think there are a lot of RPGs where it's like, here's the easy answer to like, oh, you want to take on this challenge, here's the build, here's what you need. And here there's so much room for creativity. It's such a game that invites you to break it, mixed with like, I don't know, more just like traditional RPG game. Like I normally don't get the synergy outside of something like you know, this is like a Slay the Spire level of synergy, and that's why I inverted the order, where I played this, said where can I feel the high of the synergy, and then I went to Slay the Spire. And I think that's like, it's like, what if that was an adventure? That's what Clear Obscure feels like to me, and that's like why I like have it, I think, rated so high, where it's like, wow, you're so good at so many things when you could have been good at one and you still would have been pretty highly rated. So
yeah, I think for me, especially like, I think it feels new because it does something kind of like what Sea of Stars honestly did for me when it released way back when, because Sea of Stars also, like, it did some fresh things, but it really drew from like the classics and in a way that like felt respectful to the genre and to the people who like crave that kind of feeling while also adding their own take. But what I really love, and I was thinking about this, is like, okay, because I've been playing Final Fantasy 16 kind of concurrently as well. And I've actually decided to just not finish it because I'm having such a horrible time with Final Fantasy 16. It is not fun for me. But part of it is because I was playing that concurrently with this, and I was like, hey, I have a party here with like really cool women, which is like kind of nice.
Cheers.
They're talking to one another, you know, it's like that felt really good. And whereas like I think a lot of the current RPGs still that I have played recently that are from studios that are really established feel like they're losing the charm of what makes these types of adventures so exciting for players. And I think like in playing Final Fantasy 16, it felt like they had the epicness, but none of the like person to person, like detailed core moments, the vulnerability, campfire moments, for example.
Also
like
missing
literally there's
SPA.
campfires.
So
Sorry, what?
also missing SPA. SPA
Yeah, missing
makes the
SPA.
game,
But
know?
it's like I think there is a heart in how this is focused on the characters and they actually feel well written and that they like each other, where I feel like a decent number of RPGs I've played recently, which should be focused on your party members if you have a party RPG, just don't have that. And so it's been really, really nice to play this and say like, oh my gosh, like this is what I've been craving the whole time, and they have delivered this to me in a relatively fresh package.
Also, everyone's hot except for the child.
Yes.
Point distinction. Also, as a
Thank you for that
final
clarification.
third final thing, this game's really funny a lot of times. There's a lot of humor in there.
There's no right being this funny. It is.
And I won't go into specifics because we've already gone kind of long on Claire, but I think that's also, I think, an element of that charm that you were speaking to, Jenny, that sort of adds to everything else, where like there's so many things to enjoy from the game, and I think that is what makes it feel special.
Yeah. Last thing. Maybe the best bathtub in games this year in the manor. 100%.
Yeah. I actually
saw that and I
very
was like,
distinctly remember that.
Yeah,
This is
nice.
where we
I
are.
like a good
bathroom.
house to walk around in.
Mhm.
Okay, that was our number 3. Contentious, very interesting. Again, very interesting list this year because it was top game for 2 of us, and 2 of us didn't even have it on the list. So,
Guess
One
which
of us
2 are the
fucked up.
2?
Wow, I think I know.
Who could it be?
Who could it be? Which means we are on number 2. Blueprints.
This is my sin.
Yay! Yeah, I think Janet is the one who pushed it over the edge, who pushed it into the number 2 slot
Oh,
for a
did
lot
I?
of reasons. 1, because she picked the wrong number, and 2, because she put it on her list at all.
Yeah, I kind of. Well, I'll talk about me and Blueprints when you're done, because you're the Blueprints expert.
I'm apparently the Blueprints expert. I loved this game back when it came out. I think if you were at GDC this year or anything kind of in the March area talking with people, this was the one game that nobody could get off their mind, out of their discussions. They're just like, this is a wild experience. Y'all have to check out what is going on in this game. And it got to the point where I had a conversation with someone and they're like, let's not talk about Blueprints anymore. I just can't. We've been doing it. I love it. It's great. Blueprints is in essence a puzzle game wrapped in a roguelike. So you play as Simon, whose great uncle has passed away. He has left you his estate, except for one clause that says you can only get the estate if you find the 46th room of the 45 room manor. But the thing is, like, you go through the game, it's got all of these amazing, like, just different. You're putting down a building. You're basically building out a building every time that you start another day in this game. When you find the 46th room is sort of when the game really begins. Which is really funny because, like, I think this game until that point is pretty accessible. It can be a game that you can just go through and enjoy and put down rooms and eventually find what you need to find. Once you get past room 46, things start to really get like, oh, I didn't realize that was even a thing, or like maybe something you had caught every single time. You're like, every time I go into these rooms, I see this one thing and I don't know why that's there. I'm just going to jot it down and continue on. And then something reveals itself to you. You're like, oh my gosh, I've noticed that throughout. This is really, and I'm like, ugh. I recently talked about this game on the No Smalls Games podcast, which made me go back and play it. And I'm like 100 hours in at this point, and I still have mysteries to solve. I think I'm near the end of the mysteries, but I think there are mysteries in here that no one has solved. I think there are still things that people are still wondering about, and like, what a beautiful, beautiful experience to have. I had so many just like, aha, oh my gosh, this is it. I am so excited. This is going to be the answer, and it worked. And I was just so overwhelmed with how smart I felt and elated I felt. There are, I know some people are going to talk about other things in this game, and we're going to have another discussion about things. And I'm ready for it. But just the way that the story unfolds and you learn more and that you can engage, like, you get what you put into Blueprints. If you are like looking around and really like this is a game you have to play with your brain on and actively looking at everything and interrogating and being like, okay, maybe this is something I'll put it away for now, but I'm going to keep an eye on things as they go on. And it just gets so much bigger than you ever expect. That rabbit hole goes down deep and you can just keep falling down it forever and ever. And I love it so, so much. Now.
So I was looking for how to unmute myself. So I was like, yeah, I had this still on my list. I had it at number 9. This was a weird one to have to list. Admittedly, I don't think I'm going to put this on my non-indie console top 10, but not because I don't think it's really good. I loved this game when it first came out and I started playing it. This was just the timing didn't work, and it's like that class, you know, that you hear about those love stories where it's like, oh, we were such a good couple, but then you studied abroad and I moved back to the West Coast, and who's to say? It's that kind of thing. This is an unrequited love game for me because I was really enjoying it. Started Claire, and then I just kept chomping away at Claire, and I got so and I played so much of Claire. I forgot my hour count of Claire. People say it's like, oh, it's a shorter RPG. Not the way I played it. I was in there for like a long time, and I loved every second of it. It's like one of the rare games that I would play DLC. I know it has DLC coming out, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna do it because I was obsessed. And then more time passed, and that's really where I fucked up. I just fucked this up so bad because so much time passed. I don't remember what I was doing. I don't know what's going on. And also I lost the investment and flow and familiarity I had. I do think on a technical level, would I be capable to pick it up where I left off and finish it? Technically, yes. But will it be the same? Will I have the same enjoyment and invest? No, definitely not. I just was so out of sorts for it. Unfortunately, I can't speak to how easy it is or isn't for a puzzle baby, a dumb, to get to room 46. I can tell you I didn't get there, but that's not because I feel like I definitely couldn't. I just kind of stopped playing, and then that was that. But yeah, I mean, I think this game is very once you let go of the fear, it is generally approachable. I know when I first tried to play it, I felt like you had to overanalyze everything, and as I kind of just like, I think sometimes when you play a game, what people say gets in your head, and that can be for better or for worse. And I think the ways that like the puzzle sickos were like, it's crazy. The floorboard tiles are gonna mean something. I'm like, okay, what am I doing? And I felt like that Mr. Krabs meme where the room is spinning when I first started playing. But then once I got into it and got to know it, it was really, really cool, really fun. I loved playing this alongside Isaiah, where we kind of cut down the RNG for ourselves by like duo gaining knowledge, and I thought that was like a super fun way to go about it. So yeah, really cool. I don't know if I would ever start fresh and go through it again, maybe, because I do think it's a really cool game. It's one of those ones where I think if I would have beaten it, it would have been significantly higher on my list. I think it would have at least been middle of the pack, because it was really cool. But it's just like, and I think the reason I probably won't have it on my holistic top 10, like when you count AAAs, is that I don't feel like I can speak to it fully because I didn't get to that room 46. It is one of those games where I feel like I should have at least done that, and the fact that I didn't, I feel like I can't fully speak to some of the problems people ran in with, like maybe getting tired with the RNG or like whatever. Like I only felt a little bit of that. Like I didn't really fully get my full thoughts formed on Blueprints, but I do acknowledge that it's a really cool game that I was really into when I was playing it. So for that reason, I wanted it on my list a little bit. So I put it at 9 above Spilled. No shade to Spilled, but I was like, okay, well, you're definitely better than Spilled. Like I can't lie, you know. But I kept that lower because I feel like I can neither fully praise nor fully critique it with how I played it. But I thought it was really cool.
Jenny, this game was number 3 for you, I think.
Yeah, I had a great time with this game. I think it did benefit from the fact that like I had, I was already pretty hyped for it because I had played like early demos and I was really looking forward to it. I benefited from being in groups where we were playing it together right when the game was like in its sort of preview/launch phase. And I kind of did the opposite of what Janet did because when Claire came out, I actually just ended up sticking with Blueprints and like finishing that through. And now, and then I like
You're
finished
so
Claire
much
over.
smarter than me, Jenny. It's not fair.
I mean, it's just different vibes, different styles, right? And I think it did benefit from having that momentum. And it's like I could see in an alternate world where if I had switched games and lost that, I don't know. I feel like I probably would have gone back, but it would have been an uphill struggle for sure. I also really like the point, and I want to attest to the fact that this game benefits from not necessarily going in blind, but I agree that there was a lot of hype around it and that it can be a really intimidating game when you hear folks who love it talk about it. And when I got into it, literally the only goal that I had was get to room 46. And then once I had done that and like learned what the game was asking of me, it does a better job of scaffolding than you might think. It does get to a point where I think it is for puzzle game sickos and puzzle game sickos only, but I
Mhm.
think the conversation around it, honestly, maybe it like both helped it because it reached that very specific audience that would love it. So ultimately that's the goal. So that's great. But I do think it intimidated a lot of the folks who maybe would have been really into it and could have benefited from just like playing it without any expectation or anticipation of what it could be. But my God, these puzzles, like there was a point in time where I had my notebook, I was carrying it with me, and literally I would be like in bed, just kind of thinking, and inspiration would strike, and I would have to write it down. So the next time I went to do a run, I had like my plans. And the year before, I think it was Animal Well kind of instilled that in me. This year it was Blueprints. Like it's just so nice to see these puzzle games that encourage that kind of introspection outside of the game itself. And yeah, this was number 3. I think is well deserved. I have little gripes. I think eh, the story was not what I ended up staying for, but the puzzles definitely were what I stayed for.
I did watch the cutscene when you get to the room 46 because I said I basically earned this, so I'm gonna like when Isaiah beat it. Or I don't know if I watched it, but I asked. I think I watched it, and then I said, "Does that mean more to you because you've been playing the game and like I just watched this?" And he said, "No," and I said, "Yeah, okay." So I also felt like it. Well, Jill, to the story point, I'm just curious for like more for the audience's sake than mine. Is the story one of those things where like the story also like gets better the more you dig into the puzzle? Is it kind of almost like a Breath of the Wild? Oh, if you get all the memories, you get like something cooler than like, do you remember me? And then the credits or whatever kind of thing.
I think so. Like I think Jenny disagrees with me on this, but I
I'm a
think
bit more lukewarm on it.
as
Yeah.
you dig into it, like learning what your own history is, learning what your family has gone through, learning about the like larger and larger scale implications of what it is you're doing, is really, really interesting and really like touching in some ways because of things that have happened and what you are learning about yourself and your place in the world. I kind of like you never get to the point where you go beyond the manor, and I'm kind of like, I want to see what happens in the next. Like, I want there to be a sequel, essentially, but then it's like a dynastic political intrigue game instead of just finding a room. So it would be very, very different gameplay. But
I have a dumb question to ask.
yeah. Mhm.
Is it ever, and maybe this is like too much of a spoiler, like I'm not looking for specifics, but is it ever justified that your grandpa like set up all this bullshit for you? Like, does that feel like, or is he just kind of trolling? Like, what's the vibe?
I mean,
Is it because he wants you
feel
to
like
know about your family history and
I
that's like
think
the point?
no, I think there's an element of security. There is something about the secret of your family that could legitimately put you in danger.
Okay.
There are
So he's
several
protecting
things,
you.
in fact. So, like, he's protecting, like, a lot of the things about the house itself are there just to protect the family.
Mm,
I think he is also just kind of eccentric and
one of those guys. Yeah.
and
Mhm.
likes
Well,
puzzles and things like if
We make the wrong people
anyone-
rich. You know what I mean?
in order to trust you with the secrets, that he has to know that you're able to like,
That you're a smarty.
yeah, kind
Yeah.
of, yeah. So
I
I
would
think
have
he
starved in
wants
that mansion in real life.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know, there were moments where I felt like the story I was really picking up what it was putting down, like the
Mhm.
political intrigue, like some of the sort of covert sort of, let's leave these breadcrumbs. I'm like, I got like 70%, maybe 75% of the way there, and then I felt like there were and maybe this is also a result of me. I got very far in the game. I did not 100% the game as it currently stands. And so maybe there's just stuff that I missed narratively because I didn't get to like the deepest reaches of this mansion. But I felt like there were enough kind of holes and things that I didn't feel like properly covered what was happening or properly sort of explained to me some of the stuff going on that I felt a bit more lukewarm on the story. I thought it was all right, but
I want to ask
uh,
3 questions, and I don't think this is going to spoil anything for anyone who doesn't already know what I'm talking about.
the clock
Did you
tower.
get the first edition book?
Yes.
Did you open the file in cabinet?
I don't think so. It's been
Did
long enough.
you
I'm not sure.
did you get all 8 countries in 8 months?
I think so.
So with those combined, those are really like those
Yeah.
might answer some of your questions about
I
what's
feel
going on.
like I feel like the answers that I got didn't satisfy me. I think that's partially what I felt by the end of that experience.
Okay. Oh, also, there is a note that you get. This is kind of a spoiler, so maybe just plug your ears for a second. When you do find the 46th room, you get a new note in the entry hall that kind of explains, and it's not just that I wanted to test you, it's not just that this is all for security, but it's also like
Mhm.
when Herbert the Baron before me got the title, he was like, it felt cheap, and I wasted my life with it because I didn't appreciate it to that degree. So some of it is trying for him to build meaning in your life for this and to have felt like you earned it to some degree. And
Mhm.
it's very like philosophical in that way, which I really appreciate.
Mike, you
Mhm.
tried this game, right? What happened with that? Or did you end up not trying it? I don't
Oh,
remember.
hold on. First
no,
off,
Yeah,
Mike,
go for it.
so
Yes.
appreciated watching y'all on your Extra Life stream. Kyle had that amazing, mind-blowing run that I was just like blown
a
out
great
of the
run.
water. It was
Yeah.
so good to watch.
Yeah, first off, Kelsey would like me to inform you that she is currently playing for the first time, and
Hell
she
yeah.
texted me saying, "Please tell Jill that I already have 2 pages of notes for blueprints."
Yeah, you do.
Nice.
And let her know that if she needs any sort of mystical help, I'll be
I think
as
she tagged you
opaque
in
as
the
possible.
she tagged you in the Discord when we started recording. I respect that ever living hell out of this game. I love the moment to moment gameplay. I think it's so alluring. It's so mysterious. There's not a game like this out there. I am too dumb for this video game to play it alone. So I had such a wonderful time being on the couch with Kyle and going through the runs together and trying to, similar to what we did last year with Grun, of like tag teaming it. I think it's such a wonderful, a wonderful co-op game, and B, a wonderful like playing with a community kind of game. Where
Yes.
granted, Jill was, blessed Jill, a little heavy-handed with the hints and whatnot. Same with Billy.
No,
who has
I
played
wasn't
it,
heavy-handed.
but-
There was someone in that
Yeah, that's how
room
Jill
who
says
was
it.
heavy-handed.
Billy
You know,
Billy
Mike,
was
I have
heavy-handed also.
I have a
wasn't gonna
similar
say
viewer in
anyone's
my
name.
chat sometimes, and I know what you mean. It's like, I don't. If you were someone else, you probably would have got timed out.
But yeah, like I probably, like, now that Kelsey's playing it, like I could see ourselves like sitting on the couch together and co-oping it, and maybe eventually rolling credits on it, or reaching the room. But yeah, as far as like me solo, as like probably as intended playing, just I'm I'm a big old dumb. The brain cannot handle it. But shout out to this game. I respect it so much, and like I think this is, if I were to like make an argument for like what's the indie of the year, I think it is this.
Yeah. I think this is secretly the best multiplayer game of the year.
Yeah.
Well then, that is Blueprints, which means we are on. Hold on. Everyone be cool. Yeah, we're on to our number one game. This is the next one. Are you ready? Number one.
稲そみはにせ Yeah. No shalom. Yeah, it's Silk Song time.
Hey, one more thing. I fucked up. I forgot to put this on my list.
Oh my god.
Mike,
I didn't finish
did you
it. To
put
be
on-
fair, I didn't finish it. To be fair, but still.
That's so funny.
that's on my list.
Yeah, so possibly one of the most anticipated, definitely the most anticipated game of the year. Maybe one of the most anticipated games that I know of most all time. Silk Song is a sequel essentially to Hollow Knight, which is by Team Cherry. It's just like exploration, platforming, really precise, like needlepoint combat. And it's all in service of exploring this vast world called Farloom, where you play a character named Hornet who has been taken and captured, and now she is on a journey, sort of a pilgrimage of sorts to find some answers. This game, I was a big Hollow Knight fan, but it took me a while to become a Hollow Knight fan. I tried that game probably like 3-4 times before it finally stuck, and when it did, something just clicked, and I felt like, oh my god, I understand what it is about this genre, about this game in particular. I get it, and then I got excited for Silk Song. Silk Song is for those people who understood Hollow Knight and really want to take it to the next level. And I think the team did an incredible job of keeping what worked really, really well and providing that additional level of polish and detail in all the environments, in the ways the combat is handled, in the ability for you to customize your character and sort of how she's built and how you play her, and also just the ways that you're interacting with the world. Where Hollow Knight felt very much, I would say, narratively, you're kind of at the end of this world's timeline. You also are coming in, and I feel like there's a little bit more of you're inserted as the character, and you're just kind of playing and exploring almost as the player rather than like the character you play is a bit of a shell, like literally it's a shell. Hollow Knight or Silk Song has a stronger narrative, and allows you to interact with a world that makes you more embedded within it. You have wishes now where sort of citizens of this world can ask for certain requests, and you can choose whether or not you want to do them. And that will impact stuff that you access, and stuff that you get and how you can play. But I don't know. I feel like this game was challenging. I have some gripes with some of the challenge, honestly, but it never felt totally unfair or unpredictable, and I think that's what I respected about this game the most, is not only was it just an incredible artistic achievement, musical achievement, just mechanically it is so sound, but even when I sucked and I was doing a boss and basically drilling it for like 30, 40 minutes, sometimes longer, kind of embarrassing, um, I never felt like didn't know what it was asking of me. I never felt like I didn't know what to do. It was really about me connecting like what I had in my head to how my hands were coordinating with the controller. And I think that is a testament to how strongly this game is designed and how well it's designed. Um, I will say I do wish it provided at least toggles or something for people to access this game a little bit more readily. That is my one major feedback, simply because this is a game I wish I could recommend to some people. And there are some people I know genuinely will not put in the time to practice the way that I have, because I'm like, I don't know, maybe 80 hours in at this point. I'm a long time into this game. I'm in Act 3, still kind of crunching through it. I know that that's not something everyone would do, and I wish I could get other people playing this game even if they aren't willing to do that. But as far as, like, in the genre for this game, it is a masterpiece. hugely detailed, really beautiful, great for veterans of the original. And if you are willing to take the challenge, I would say really great for people new. I would almost recommend it over Hollow Knight and then go back to it if it wasn't maybe for some of the difficulty elements.
100%. I
Good
know
video
we've
game.
we've talked about this game a lot
good
over the
video
year
game.
because it's a good video game. And so number 1 on our list.
Can you believe that this
yeah.
game actually launched and like we played it?
No.
It's
No,
yeah,
it's
here.
still
Mm-mm.
it's still
Doesn't
sort of
feel
afraid to
real.
say the name. Yeah.
And that it's actually like
What's-
really good and
Yeah.
critically acclaimed is the other
that
thing.
too. Like
Not
they
that
nailed it.
it would have been
No.
weird if it wasn't as critically acclaimed as the other one, but like at the same time, I do think especially with indies, sequels are so tough. Like it
Yeah.
feels like, because for a lot of reasons, in part because the indie space is like kind of known for like innovation, that like it's the same thing, but again, kind of, we're like, oh, okay, like it's like, I don't know, it just didn't hit quite as hard, I think, in the space. So yeah, for this to be like the same through line but different enough that like I'm not a Hollow Knight 1 fan. Like I tried that game I think just like
Same.
once, sort of a half-assed attempt admittedly, but it felt very, very much like, okay, this game does not want me to play it, and that's chill, I'm good. And I left very quickly. This doing something that's the same but different, I think, was really valuable. And then yeah, no, Jenny, I co-sign as a person that was that, I would co-sign that recommendation. I think if you want to try Hollow Knight Silksong, try that. I don't think I know there's like the meme of the tutorial for Silksong is Hollow Knight. Fuck it. Like just go through it and you'll figure it out. Like, yeah, I don't think I found this game to be,
It's so much
maybe
more
it's just-
approachable.
yes. And maybe it's that like times passed, but I found it, yeah, like a lot more approachable.
No, even like leading up to Silksong, I've tried to play. I played Hollow Knight at launch on my Switch. That was like one of my launch games on Switch. I played like 10 hours. I forgot about it. Couldn't go back to it. I eventually started a new game like a couple years ago. Didn't get too far into it. I made like an actual effort to play through the original game leading up to Silksong, and it's still like, even like using a guide just to like signpost me where to go next. It just didn't work. It didn't feel good. It felt like stiff and like clunky at times and unfair. Silksong they learned so many lessons and just made it so much more fluid and smoother and a much better experience.
Yeah, and I don't know, like we've talked about this game obviously a bunch, but like I think it's crazy. Obviously it's kind of like an ego maniacal take, but like the fact that I played this and liked it and beat it is like kind of insane, because I just genuinely, I just don't play a lot of Souls likes that I especially and finish like very few. I've finished one Souls like in my whole life, and it was Demon Souls because my chat carried me through it. So and even like Lies of P, which is very accessible, I've just kind of been too lazy to go back. It's like I figured this is like, I'm trying it to try it, but because it is such a platformer in its nature, I was able to do it, and I really, really loved it. And like I feel like this is like an unsung platformer game, because people so often just talk about like, I loved it, like the bosses beat my ass, and I'm like, I kind of like just going around.
Yeah.
And if I gotta beat some ass, I guess that's what I have to do to keep exploring. And it's been fun finding fellow explorers with me, Jenny, even like my colleague Chia, who I think is maybe a little bit more combat centric, but just putting in those heavy hour counts and just like spending time and like working through it. And when I see clips of this game, like people fighting bosses, even bosses that I've beaten, I'm like, man, I don't know how I did that. That looks so hard. And I think it's also that's the weird thing about Silksong is it both looks like a really hard game or a really easy game when you look at it. And it's kind of neither. Obviously it leans more on the hard, but like if you think it's too hard, you probably can do it. And if you think it looks easy, it's so much harder than it looks, because like you'll watch someone do a fight and be like, when I get there, I'm going to know exactly what to do. How are you fucking this up? And then you do it and you're like, damn, this shit's really hard. And it's so it's so cool, and it's very cute, and like the art is insane. Like Jenny, your post from, I forgot if it was the Australia games showing the like museum exhibit that shows like the depth of the assets. It's like holy cow, what a beautiful game.
Wild.
It's stunning. And I think what's really interesting, because I remember the the day it launched, which I'm like, okay, this is absolutely wild for people to come in with these takes on like literally 2 hours after it launched. But there are people who are like, oh, like the music doesn't feel as iconic, or like the environments don't feel as iconic. And I'm like, you've had it for all of 2 hours. Like, we've had how many years of waiting for this game? Like, enjoy it first, please.
Yeah.
Like, please,
Yep.
just like take some time with it. And I think what's been really exciting is seeing the ways that like Sherma has become an icon. And now that everyone's kind of like gone through and seen this little bug. There are a couple boss battles that I are now cemented in my memory because I've taken the time with them. And so it's really nice because I think there was a part of me that's like, oh man, I mean, Hollow Knight's so good. We have had it for so long. We've had time to generate these memories. What is it going to be like for a sequel, and how will we be able to, like, what kind of memories are we going to generate with that, and what will the community grasp and hold on to? And so it's been just really neat to see the ways that like this game has come into its own, and now like isn't just under Hollow Knight's shadow. It is sort of making its own ground and making its own
Yeah.
way, which is really
Yeah.
cool.
100%. Very hard to do in a sequel in an indie game. 100%.
If I may bring up the question, now that we're probably transitioning to the next segment, I have an answer for this. What is the next unicorn indie that we're waiting on?
Pony Island 2.
Haunted Chocolatier.
Haunted Chocolatier.
Haunted Chocolatier, also good. She
Great
Dreams
answers.
Elsewhere.
Mine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
She
She Dreams
Dreams.
Elsewhere. Playdead's next game.
Oh, dang. We can't put
It's not
that on
gonna
our
be
bingo
nearly as-
twice. We
It's
can't
not
do
going to
it,
be nearly
Mike.
as cloudy because Silksong's so like the cloud's so high, but that little devil inside game. What's up with that?
No,
Oh my
no.
gosh.
That's a
Like
curse.
Little Devil Inside and Way to the Woods. I'm like,
That's a curse.
hello,
Yeah.
Yep.
hello,
Mhm,
hello.
mhm.
Wait, real before you, I know I keep making us take longer, but Jill, where are you at? And so did you? I forget. Did you? Where are you at? in,
I've
like,
not
Silksong?
finished. I've not finished. I am not. I'm more than halfway, but not 75%. Is probably about where I am, I think. I'm with you on exploration. I love exploring this game. I love the world building. I love the characters. The way that it's just laid out is so fantastic. Everything beautiful. Like, I just kind of want to sit and look at things. There are a couple of bosses where I'm like, okay, like, I'm over this now. Like, I've hit you exactly where
Name
I need to
names.
hit you, and I'm like, I'm not there. I've had a couple of times where I'm like, I finally finished, and instead of having that, like, yeah, I'm done, I'm like, okay, finally.
Sure.
Oh
which
yeah,
is
like I'd be
past the
ending
point
like
where
just
you wanna go.
mad.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't
Honestly,
even fucking care.
less than the bosses, those like wave
Oh, the
rooms,
wave rooms.
The wave
Yeah.
rooms are
Yeah.
really hard.
those are so hard. And I
They're
feel like
rough.
I've actually gotten sort of stuck or like bottlenecked in those more than the bosses, to be really honest.
But there's nothing like when you do a wave room, like because I like at one point got really good at them, had a really good run at them for a while, and I was like, first try. Like I bought, this is not a joke. I bought a clicker for this game. I know you would thought, oh, you didn't buy one for click holding, but you bought one for Silksong. Hey, I don't know, whatever it is, what it is. But because I wanted to keep track, I wanted to get some data on like how hard the game was for me. So I started keeping track of like how long it took me to, how many attempts per room, per boss, just for my own like
yeah.
edification. And yeah, like when I would do one in like 1 to 2, it's like fucking light work. But then sometimes you just get stuck on them for like 7 to 15 attempts, and it's just like hell on earth. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
so
But
good.
I think all of us feel well about this being our number one. I think
Yeah,
it's really funny
Mhm.
how every year,
Yeah.
even this particular year, I'm going to go through some facts. This particular year was maybe the most fractured we've ever been as individuals coming into this.
It's been 33 years, yeah. Of being fractured. Come on.
Being fractured. There were 22 games in this year that only showed up on one of our lists. So half there were
wow.
each of us having 10 games means
Y'all gave me in
half of
secret
the
or what?
games existent on our list didn't show up on anyone else's. Only 2 games, Keep Driving and Blueprints, showed up on 3 different lists, and Rogers, the only game that landed on all 4.
Did Mike put Butcher's Creek on his list?
He did not. He did not.
Fucking fake Butcher's
should've.
Creek fan.
I should have.
Like,
Wow.
here's the thing. Mike is actively looking at a bunch
just a troll,
of
is what
nominees
I-
for
yeah.
best game of the year, and he didn't even bother to bring up that spreadsheet. That's what I'm saying right now.
I know. Wait,
what?
yeah, you have a spreadsheet of like
You have a
all
whole
these games.
spreadsheet of all these like
That'd be the
nominations
easiest
for
place to
best
look,
games
yeah,
of the
actually.
year.
Yeah.
I'm not the one that solely curated that sheet.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, but
it
I
would've
just mean
been
to
really
jog your
good.
memory about like some of these games.
Is Butcher's
Forgetting
Creek
to
on
put
that
down
list?
Silk
No,
Song
and it's a
and
shame.
Claire is. Also, I love Silk Song being number 1 on our list because I am at like I hate that I have to pick between Claire and Silk Song for like any of my lists, and I genuinely feel like Silk Song is probably a better video game than Claire, so I'm like I should probably put Silk Song above Claire, but I'm like, but also that Claire was like, come on now, you know what I mean? So I feel kind of bad about that because I'm like, I do technically think though, is Silk Song not a better game though? Like maybe it should be higher. So this is I get to have my cake and eat it too, where it's number 1 on my indie list is Claire, but number 1 on this is a Silk Song, so I kind of get to have everything. So
there you go. Have
Yeah.
your
We
cake
wanna-
and eat it.
Quickly share our 10s, like just rapid fire, just list
Rapid
it.
fire. Number 10, Luminous Arise. Number 9, Citizen Sleeper 2. Number 8, Wander Stop. Number 7, Ball Pit. Number 6, Despelote. Number 5, And Roger. Number 4, Keep Driving. Number 3, Claire Obscure Expedition 33. Number 2, Blueprints. And number 1, Hollow Knight Silk Song.
you meant the individual ones.
Great. I
Yeah.
more so meant the individual ones.
Do you guys want to share that? I like to keep those secret for the most part.
Oh, well, Jill, if you want to keep your secret because of your site, that's like fine.
I mean, it's not going to be secret for long. I've shared my top 10 with at least 2 different other outlets. Who are
I'm
doing-
cool. I'm cool sharing it. I think it's fun.
Okay,
Mike, do you have yours
cool.
already up? I have mine up if needed.
I've
I got
got
mine
it.
up.
I've got it.
Okay.
Okay, so Mike
Yeah.
has a game that we can't talk about.
10, redacted.
Redacted, but it is real good. Keep an eye out for it.
It's really good.
Number 9. Oh.
Yeah, I could read them
Not
off. I
Bug
got
Snacks.
it in front of me. Yeah, 9, Ooh. 8,
Ooh.
Fretless.
I need to play that.
Ooh rocks. 8,
Ooh.
Fretless. 7, Afterlove EP. 6, Dawn Folk. 5, Ball Pit. 4, and Roger. 3, Fly Night. 2, Luminous Rise. 1, Wander Stop.
I wish I played more Dawnfolk because I was on my list for a while as well.
Yeah, I
Dawnfolk,
wanted
I
to
haven't
put
gotten
that
in
on
I just
there.
got lazy, but it's so beautiful.
Yeah.
I wanted to throw mine out there. It is The King is Watching was my number 10.
Okay.
Okay.
I put Hades 2 at 9. Silk Song was at 8. Promise Mascot Agency at 7. Ball
yeah.
Pit at 6. And Roger. Keep Driving. The Seance of Blake Manor. I tried to put it. It
I need
wasn't
to
quite high
finish
enough.
that. Ugh.
Citizen Sleeper 2 and Blueprints.
Nice.
Janet had Spilled, Blueprints, Squeak Grass.
I almost
Which I
put
also
Squeak
misspelled.
Cross as my top
Mhm.
10. Oh, such a good game.
And Roger, Lonely Mountain Snow Riders, Windswept, Despelote, Keep Driving, Silk Song, and Claire Obscure Expedition 33. With
Windswept,
Jenny-
huh?
Yeah.
What?
Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
I just beat it over
Nice.
the Thanksgiving break. It's
Nice.
great. I loved it.
Really high up on the list. Jenny had Deltarune chapters 3 and 4. Cabernet, Proximate, because Jenny's turned into a sicko gamer.
Yep.
Keep
I need you,
Driving.
Mike.
Look Outside. She's got multiple sicko
Hell
games.
yeah.
Despelote, Consume Me, Blueprints, Silk Song, and Expedition 33. And that's all of our
Yo,
games.
the saving mechanic of Look Outside is so good.
It's so good.
It's
That
so
game.
good.
More people. It's wild because I feel like the people who know, but I'm like more people need to know.
I almost know. It's like on a list
It's coming up.
somewhere.
It's coming up. It's after
which-
Consume Me, though.
Something I want to shout out actually. Sorry, Jill, I always derail you moving
go for
on. But NPR just put out their list of like the best games of the year, and I saw Nicole Carpenter, who is like I think one of the indie experts in our field, share that out and mention that like she has some contributions in there as well. But she mentions,
Oh yeah.
rightfully so, like I agree with this take, that there are games on there that definitely a lot of the games I didn't play, but even some games I haven't heard of. So I definitely think it's a must read, scroll, like take a look, maybe jot some games down that catch your eye that you maybe missed. Because I do think I really appreciate, working in this industry when someone in our field, like an outlet, a group of people can really come up with a list that has like true hidden gems. You know what I mean? And I don't mean to sound like a hidden gem snob, but we've all seen those things where it's like a game that is kind of pretty known. So I love when people can like really hit some of those deep cuts. So yeah, hopefully if you're listening, there are games on there that are new to you that you can check out from this year.
Hopefully there are games on our list that are new to some people as well.
Yeah. I think what's kind of cool, because you mentioned how different our lists were, like especially kind of in the lower 70% of the games that we picked, or even like 50%. And I think that is just such a testament to how many different really good games, like any other year,
100%.
many of these games would have been like in the top, I feel like. But we just had, there hasn't been a bad year for indies in a long time, but I feel like it just keeps getting better and it keeps getting harder to really narrow down. And I think this is the first year where I felt truly overwhelmed, where like usually by now I feel like I've finished most of what I need to, but I keep adding to my list. Like I feel like this is the latest I've added games to my list in many years.
Yeah.
And I'm like constantly still evaluating my top 10 because I just started Seance like 2 days ago. You know, it's so good. And so yeah, this is just really a testament to the work that the studios are doing and that the developers are doing, even though we know that we've talked a lot about how the industry is going through really tough time right now. It's just neat to see just what is being created.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Mike.
No, I suspect my list also to be different next week because December 9th is a crazy day also. Or December 8th, December 9th is like a crazy release day.
There's a lot going on, for that week. And we talked about it. I know I'm blurry, but we talked about it, I think, on our last show where we talked about how hard it is to have like a cutoff point to talk about games of the year because there are indie games that are coming up. Mike literally has a redacted game on his list. That redacted game might end up on my list by the end of the year. There are other redacted games that might end up on that list as well.
Yeah,
So
like,
it's like
I'm not playing. I'm like, honest to truth, I'm not playing the games. I don't have access to them right now. Like, I suspect Unbeatable is going to make it on my list. That could be like my game of the year, just based on like early things that I've played, and Skate Story also. Like, another one that's like been high on my list. That early builds that I've played of that game have just been outstanding. So like, those are the two for me.
I'm team December. That's 2026.
December is
I know.
2026.
This is the first year I've like seriously considered. I think I might have to draw that line for myself.
Because here's the thing. Here's what people never acknowledge, and I've been on both sides of this content wise. Like Remap does everything in January. When I was at Kind of Funny, we did everything in January. I see the perks of January. However, if you're like, oh, I'm playing January because I want the whole year. Okay, are you playing a game that came out December 25th for January? But not enough time. Yeah. You're always gonna be missing games.
Yeah,
you might
100%.
as well pick. If you pick a harder like cutoff, you have a better chance of easily catching those games. And then I think if people argue that like, oh no, the December games are going to be forgotten. I think if your game is good enough, it won't be. And like you can elevate, I think, December games more by just like having that clarity. So that's all this year.
Going off IGA's eligibility that we talked about, like November 1st to October 31st. Fucking sorry, we're closed. That came out in November, like around Thanksgiving last year.
Yeah.
Made it to nominations. So I'm sure it's gonna be the same for Skate Story, Redacted, Unbeatable.
Redacted.
Yeah. Time's a construct anyway. Construct more times.
Flat Circle Construction.
Just add another month.
Oh my gosh. That's my new band name.
Yeah, a no content month, but everyone gets
void.
Everyone gets universal income that month.
Yeah. Love it.
And you just no content comes out.
I love it. 100%.
Mandami, get on it.
Vote for me. Yeah.
Let's go. Okay. Number we have 10 games that we need to give awards to. And an 11th for Gooby's Gang honorable mentions. So I think there are actually some really good options for each of these. I was kind of looking through. Let's start out with Not Like Other Sims award. I want to throw this one to Wanderstop.
I was gonna say Keep Driving.
Right.
I was gonna say, oh, that's so funny. I was like, maybe Keep Driving or Citizen Sleeper.
Also, it's been a year. We're going off the name. we don't understand.
Yeah, I don't remember what it
the
actually
context.
Oh yeah.
I'm
Well,
going
yeah,
out
it's
for
just
sim.
vibes, yeah.
So.
That's the point. This is our first year we decided the following award categories would persist through the ages. They are now unchangeable, except we did last year come up with a exception. If we unanimously decide to change one, we can change one.
if necessary, sure.
If necessary.
Should we
So-
maybe just write down like our ideas for each one and then kind of
Yeah,
circle
yeah.
back?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I will
maybe
go
keep
ahead
driving
and let
in
you do that,
Citizen.
Janet.
Okay, cool. I was supposed to say in the so boring for pod, but like in the Google Doc,
Yeah,
I'm
it's
like,
fine.
it feels just lots of cursors on top of here. Like whatever. Okay,
Listen.
you guys can continue.
Yeah.
They got 2 hours and 9 minutes of good audio content. They could deal with some typing for a little bit.
Yeah, a little typing.
I don't know why I
Um,
went so Arthur Avenue, fucking Bronx or whatever.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Well,
I
okay,
think-
so our thoughts are Citizen Sleeper, Keep Driving, Wander, Stop. Did I miss any of
Mhm.
them? Okay,
Okay.
so maybe we
Number-
just keep go down and
just
then come
keep
Yeah,
back.
going
let's
through.
go. Yeah.
Yeah,
Do I
let's go
need to
through.
repeat myself? I think might be blueprints.
Yeah,
Mhm.
the loop.
The loop. You got to keep looping.
Yeah, blueprints. Maybe ball pit could be considered for that one too.
Okay.
But
I-
spin me right round.
That's
round
spin me
right
balls.
round.
I
Oh,
feel
I like it.
I have.
I
like,
had the
do-
same thought,
do we-
Janet. I will let
do
you
I
we-
was
say it.
okay.
Oh,
I was thinking
no,
that, but I was like, that's so dark.
That's
That
like
is
fucked
so
up, right?
dark.
Okay,
I love
So-
it though.
So dark.
Real dark.
and Roger has some. It comes to mind,
Thematically.
Some
you know.
repetition
Mhm,
involved.
mhm.
but I'm like, look,
going to
I don't
hell.
want to get canceled today.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. We're obviously not trying to make light of the content of the
Yeah,
game,
yeah.
but it's
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, okay.
I have a proposal for the next two,
Yes.
actually. Spin me right round soccer ball. Maybe just
Yeah,
both
I
of
was
here.
Just
Hex
love it.
appeal.
I do
You're
like
doing
it.
the for ball pit making. There's hexes in ball
Oh.
pit.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you
You
make
know?
that. There's like base
Claire
building in
Fear
ball
has a lot
pit.
of magic to it as well.
Yeah, a lot of magic.
And it's really sexy.
I was
It is
also
really
It's
sexy.
very sexy.
for Hex Appeal, New Minds Arise because it's like so hypnotizing when you play sometimes.
And there's
Okay.
Just
shapes.
like-
That's true.
It's a big shape game.
Yep.
Okay. All right, continuing.
Okay.
And then we
I
can circle
like
back.
Chance the Rapper award going to Luminous Rise though.
I suggested Sherma as
Ooh,
As
Silk
just
Song,
a
yeah.
person.
Maybe a Silk Song for Sherma. It is a big like chanting game, kind of. Also, shout out to Chance's album this year. Really good.
Mhm.
Good job, Chance.
oh.
Our
Good job.
award is very timely. First out the gate is
By
Citizen
default,
Sleep.
this goes to Citizen Sleeper. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So we can take that off the first one.
Kool-Aid Man was like, I don't know,
Congratulations.
came out of nowhere, right?
Claire Obscure.
Yeah. You think
Yeah,
Claire
Claire Obscure down. Oh yeah.
It,
This
it
is
busted out like the Kool-Aid Man into the game industry scene.
this is so Claire Obscure, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Playing up
Oh,
for
yeah,
just,
just-
a little guy.
Just Little Guy.
I
think-
was gonna make so I mentioned Sherma here earlier. I think Sherma's better fit for Chance. I was thinking SK's Rocks.
Oh,
Right.
oh.
Or the actual
Um,
little guys. I forgot their names. The
I think
paintbrushes.
Silk Song here. I 100% want just a little guy.
But
Yeah.
but
The Silk
man,
Song has
Wander
so
Stop
many
for
little guys.
consideration.
Oh,
There's, like,
Wonder
little
Stuff for the
guys,
puffins.
right? Yeah, that's
true.
a little.
Oh,
I'm like,
puffins.
I'm like,
sure.
look, I'm sure there were little guys there. I'm like, I remember a little guy. Okay, Slipknot's Duality Award. I think this was like it
I put this-
has.
Oh,
I would
Jenny,
put
what?
and Roger for this because it's
I
like
Oh,
the
that.
utter
I
dichotomy of
that.
this one.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
less cancelable sounding. So I like
Yeah.
that. I like that. I like that.
It was really
Also,
funny,
I
though.
know
I'll save
we-
you, Janet. Don't worry.
I know we mentioned Silk Song in multiple places, but I think Silk Song is let them cook because they literally been cooking this game for nearly a
Also,
decade.
they had a cooking
That's
quest,
true.
and it was a big side quest that you
yeah.
really should do if you haven't already,
Ooh,
because you get a good
Actually,
thing for it.
does Wander Stop need to be let them cook? Because it's
Oh
like
shoot,
for
because you're
cooking
making
tea.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
so making
What
stuff.
about blueprints? Because we're cooking up solutions. Let us cook.
But
To
mm,
I will
solve these
consider it.
I think literally he gets served food a lot.
That's true. That's true.
Okay, is there anything we don't have for anything?
So
Keep
that's
driving? Was
for
that
honorable
listed?
mention. It does it have to be one of these 10s? Because there was a game we notably did not talk about in this episode.
Oh, what game is that?
We did not mention Hades 2 once.
I did.
Oh,
I
she
put it
put
on
it
my
for
list.
her list.
Put it
Oh,
my
it was on
list.
your list.
Yeah.
My apologies.
Yeah.
My apologies.
But I also
we
have
can
not
put that
played
as
it.
Scooby Swing Award if you would like to. Put
Is there a
Hades
game
2.
that we like meme level collectively got kind of into?
And
That's
you
kind of what
begin, like,
Goobies
slots and
represents.
daggers.
I didn't really
Oh,
like.
yeah.
I didn't get in that one that much.
Flying Night, Butcher's Creek. You know what I'm saying?
Promise
can't- I-
Mascot Agency for me is going to be.
Oh, you know what? Squeakcross? Are there?
Squeakcross.
Is that everybody?
Yes.
I think so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They didn't play
That
it.
almost
Is it
made
on
it to
Squeakross?
Boston.
It's not a you game. You said, or what? I like didn't hear you over.
I just
your-
didn't play it. I just didn't play
Okay.
it.
Do you like Picross though?
Yeah, you know.
How about
I've-
Dawn?
Nah,
I've
you don't really like
revealed-
that.
Are we all
I've
Yeah,
revealed a
yeah.
Pikachu in my time, you know?
Dawn Folk?
I just feel like I wasn't obsessed with it enough.
Yeah,
I
yeah, I
liked it
didn't
a lot
play it
though.
enough.
Yeah, I failed it that game. That game's great though. People should play it.
Jenny, feel free to abstain here. Spirit Swap.
I do.
I will
I
not be
didn't
offended if
spend
you say
enough
no.
time with it to just
Okay.
like just yeah. I fail a lot, so Spirit Swap did not it eluded me. Could we do? And we don't have to pick that angle, but I just feel like I think that's what we kind of had it
Yeah,
be
like
for.
the game we
you know
all,
what I mean?
Yeah, that we all kind of like memed on throughout the year.
Yeah.
Everybody in the comments down below, tell us what game is obviously
Yeah.
the game. They're
We
going to be
can-
like,
we
you
can
guys
circle-
talk about this all the time.
We can circle back to it, but
Yeah.
yeah, I just was trying to think if there was something that.
Low mouse.
Well, I guess that kind of speaks to the split, right? Where it's like I think
Yeah.
we all enjoyed a lot of
Yeah.
games, but a lot of times it was just a different game.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
The
we'll have
only
to
other
think
one
about
would
that
be
later.
Slots and Daggers because we were like pretty obsessed with it for that week.
Janet
Yeah.
already
I
said the
didn't
kibosh on
really-
that one.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, not really. I mean, I'm not gonna be mad if it gets it. I just was like, I don't know. I
Listen, also, if it
didn't
doesn't-
spend that much time with it.
If it doesn't feel right, it doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
didn't feel
I don't
right,
want to
yeah.
force it. I don't want to force it.
What was last
Go on,
year?
yeah.
Can we get that analytic?
Oh, I would have to look it up.
Oh, God, yeah. I don't know.
What are our top contenders at the moment for this particular?
I don't know.
I think
yet.
Keep Driving for Sims.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Right. So I'll just bold the ones that we think, and then we'll like
Mhm.
solidify it at the end.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
so,
I think it
a-
might have been Crypt Master last year.
Yeah.
right, and we did all kind of like vibe with that.
Yeah.
Mhm, mhm.
What
Damn. Do we really Crypt Master?
Oh, Crypt Master. Please say Corpse Master.
No, but I want to play that too. That sounds fun. Sounds like Stitch,
Yeah,
which I really
it's like that.
game.
There's that cat quilt game.
Yeah.
That seemed very nice.
No,
Forgot the name
Oh
of it.
yeah. Yeah.
cat quilt Steam. Quilts and Cats of Calico?
Maybe.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
Why not?
Okay. Okay, I didn't hear because I was looking
Oh, I
up. What
have
were
it
our
in my
top
library.
contenders?
Sorry.
Look at that.
It's ready now. Another game I fucking didn't play, but okay. So yeah, we're thinking Keep Driving for Not Like the Other Sims. Blueprints for
yeah.
Do I need to repeat myself? Okay.
Yeah.
Ball Pit for Spin.
Yeah.
Okay. Hexapeel Luminous Arise.
Yeah.
Yeah, very transy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Chance the Rapper. Oh, what do we do? Because we wanted Silk Song for. I guess where do we put
Oh,
Silk
no,
Song? Because
no,
it's up
let's
for
put-
3.
Let's put Luminous Horizon, Chance the Rapper, and do Hexapeel.
Oh, okay.
Ball Pit?
Because Clear
Well,
has
then
to
we
be.
could
Well,
do
we already have Ball
in
Pit.
the
Yeah.
rounds.
We already have bought it.
Despalote.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Wait,
I think
hold
that's a
on.
lock
Wait,
for.
other
Well, no,
other
no.
way?
No,
Oh,
other
sorry.
way.
Sorry.
Other way.
Yeah.
Other
Yeah.
way
I
around.
got you. Don't worry. I'm commanding my way
everybody.
out of this.
We're all doing good. We just need to make sure that we don't forget anybody. Luminous.
And then we want
Horizon.
Hexapeel. Sorry, Hexapeel. We wanted Ball Pit.
Ball Pit.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
For
Got you.
the synergies.
Okay.
Chance the
Riveting
Rapper.
audio content.
That's
Luminous.
Okay, Luminous. First out the gate since we're
Innocent
2.
Sleeper.
Zuber.
Expeditions.
Kool-Aid Man. Clair Obscure. Easy.
Silk Song.
Yeah, just
For just a little
little
guy.
guy. So song.
Shout out to Sharma
Right.
in particular.
Because I do think Wander
Or,
Stop
sorry.
is the
Wander
hook,
Stop is
right?
the Let
Because
Them
you're
Cook,
making
yeah.
stuff. Yes. Okay.
Okay.
No, we did this. Hold
We're
on, I
doing
think
it,
we
you
might be
guys.
done.
This is amazing. We're getting to the end.
Okay.
Did we Miss
We need to
anything?
figure out the Goobies.
I don't
We
think
need
so.
to figure out the Goobies gang one. But sorry, I have a cough. So and I forgot to.
What
Be
was
No,
it
but I
that
mean,
all
like,
of us were
the
cool
10
with
that
except
we-
for Mike?
Yeah, we have the
Squeakross?
10. I think.
I mean, would we be opposed to, because And Roger was the one game that we all were like hot on, I feel like relatively would be
But
okay repeating, or do we need it to be something
It
different?
needs to be something else. And Roger got its flowers.
I'm cool with it being Squeakross, though I am bummed that I guess wasn't a. Again, it is a really specific
Mutual.
category where it's like a game we were all passionate about, but
Yeah.
wasn't so passionate that it hit the top 10. That is a hard angle for sure. So I
Mhm.
don't think it's like. But I am a little bummed though that I'm like, oh, I guess there wasn't like one like that.
We'll have to like
but yes,
We
next
were
year
really
play more
fractured
games
this year,
together.
yeah.
So
well, yeah,
we
we'll have to.
increase the pool.
Okay, wait,
I'm looking.
Peak?
I'm looking.
Throwing Peak out
Oh
there.
yeah, I'd be
Yeah.
down with Peak.
Well,
Um,
Mike, nah, no.
I'm not.
No,
yeah.
Mike's not into it.
Mike.
And honestly, I'm not like
Oh,
Peak obsessed, but I started getting more into it the last like couple weekends. I've been playing
Yeah.
it more. Okay, let's maybe just Squeakross then, because I think it has that energy a bit. I always misspell it. I think it's spelled like this.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna write it down. Maybe we think of another one and we can have a convo. But I
I'm
think
like
that might
quickly
be.
trying to look through all the.
I know. I
the
was
games
just
on
scrolling
my
through.
Okay.
I'm cool with
Spilled?
Squeakross. Oh,
Okay,
Spilled.
Mike, but did you? Play
I
that,
fucking
Mike?
love Spilled.
Okay,
Yeah.
does
I love
everyone love Spilled?
Spilled.
Jill,
Yeah.
do you love Spilled? It's okay if you didn't.
I'm sorry. I really.
It's
I
all right.
didn't put
It's a
lot
little
of-
okay, it's
simplistic.
okay.
I understand. But I was very into Spilled, so okay.
Yeah, same.
Goodnight Universe?
I was kind of disappointed by
No?
it.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. Me and Jill are
Don't
kind of
forget
like.
the Ghost of Glamping.
I didn't play the DLC because I'm not a big DLC
Yeah,
guy.
I didn't play that.
It's not a DLC. It's a sequel.
I know, but I guess they sold it in a way that confused me. I fucked up. I don't know. I thought it was a sequel. I thought it was DLC.
Just to throw something out there, because I feel like it got a bad rap last year due to certain parties. If we want to dip into these toes, it's not
It's
too
a
late to give. It's not too late to give
2025?
Arctic eggs. It's flowers. I'm just
Oh, but
I mean,
I
do
kind
love-
of beefs with Arctic eggs a little bit. Yeah, I mean, I know you know that. I guess Dawn Folk is the other. Did all of us at least play Dawn Folk or no?
I played
fucking
it, just not a
adored Dawn Folk.
ton. I
Yeah.
liked it, but I
It
just didn't
probably
play
won't
it.
make it, but I'm just gonna jot it down for reference. I really like the art's so cool and it's like so easy to get into. I just didn't put in the hours that I needed to.
How about Cast and Chill? Did we all play with Cast and Chill?
I love Cast and Chill.
Come on.
I didn't really like
Janet.
Cast and Chill. I tried it. I thought it was kind of I don't know.
It's the beauty
I
of
don't
the
know.
podcast. We have such a different taste, and none of us
Yeah.
could.
It's
fucking
wild. I know
align
it's
on
like
anything.
it
So
seems crazy to
funny.
be like, oh, you have. How can an idle game fail you? But it did kind of just not quite. It was no Rusty's retirement. You know what I mean? It just didn't.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't. I
Okay.
couldn't get into it.
Two, potentially one that's like maybe a bit heavy for a Goobies gang, but like Consume Me was one that maybe we all played, but
I
it's
just
like,
didn't get to it yet.
Oh
I
yeah.
fucked that up. That was yeah.
And then maybe Baby Steps. Have you
Not
gotten
me
touch it.
game.
Okay. How about Tiny Bookshop?
I
Yeah,
didn't get
I
to
like
it.
Oh, okay. Time
Time flies.
Okay,
I like Time Flies. Yeah,
I did
yeah,
like
yeah.
it. I didn't finish it, but I did like it. But did we all like it?
I liked
I liked
it.
it.
I'm
Oh,
I
yeah,
didn't
that's
put
more
too
than we
much
have for
time into
other
it, but I
stuff.
liked it.
Then
Yeah.
same. Though, okay, so I think it's between Time Flies and Squeakross. I think
Time Flies.
Time
How
Flies
about
has the benefit of all of us played it and
Discounty?
liked it. I didn't get to it.
Dang it.
But Squeakross, I'm not gonna lie, I feel much more passionate about Squeakross than I do about Time Flies. But
Mhm.
I'm bummed that Mike isn't included in the Squeakross.
I mean,
Mhm.
right back at you with Fly Night.
Ooh, Henry Halfhead.
Look, what the fuck's going on with this night? Okay, Fly Night. What is this game? Like, I don't remember. I know you told me before, but we talk almost
It's
every
a
week,
really
and
sick
you always
dungeon
ring
crawler.
like 9 games. I can't remember all these fucking games. Okay,
Creepy Redneck Dinosaur Mansion.
I
1
will put it in my
Raptor.
cart.
Mhm.
Nah, I didn't get to it.
Y'all.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think I'm fucking this up for us. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'll just fall on that sword. I feel like I'm lacking.
Listen, may I make a proposal?
Okay.
Yes.
Post.
If the court allows. It is Gooby's gang. A
Yeah.
gang meaning more than one.
Okay.
I'm down to give Squeakross, Time Flies, and Dawn Folk, and maybe Fly Night. It's flowers here. A gang. of
Love
honorable
the
mentions.
Okay.
Fly Night
Stop
getting
trying to make
lobbed in. Yeah.
Stop trying to make Fly Night happen. No one else played it. Even the people that play games that no one plays didn't play it. So you're gonna. I'm just. That's just a joke. Fly Night. Chat to you.
Yeah, Fly Night.
Yeah, Waba Boy, or however you pronounce the developer / publisher, self-publishing.
Oh,
That's not no
I've got
easy
it.
shit. Shout out to
I've
you.
got it.
Okay.
Redacted.
Nah.
Come
I'm
on
sorry.
now.
I'm sorry. I can't hold you on that.
Oh, come on. That would have been amazing. Because it could be anything we want it to be.
We
Oh,
got
you
we
mean
gotta
like literally
commit.
the word redacted?
Literally the word
Yeah.
redacted. Literally like something that we haven't played yet.
I think if I had to only pick one, I think I would go Squeak Cross. If we do want to expand it to sometimes allowing 2 when needed, then I would do Squeak Cross Time Flies. I wouldn't do Dawnfolk just because I feel like I and maybe other people here didn't put the work in to elevate it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm willing to own up to that
Okay.
today.
I'm willing to go for 2 because if it's just Squeakgrass, then not all of us are included.
Yeah.
And this is importantly all of us together.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Thanks, Mom.
Squeakgrass / Time Flies. That was
Nice.
the hardest one. That's usually the easiest.
I
Yeah.
know.
It's also
Okay.
I think it's fun that we have that even. I know we like made the categories. They just kind of said, "Oh, it's every year we're gonna do it." Like hee tee. But I think more than any of these, I guess Kool-Aid Man kind of does speak to something which is funny and valid and true for indies. I like that it's very representative of the indie space, which is to say that like any other sector of the industry, not every game is like a top 3 game of the year, whether it's for you personally or acknowledged in the industry. But there's still games that are really good, maybe even great, that you can have like a strong passion for, and that's what I like about this category, where it's not the heaviest of hitters, but it's stuff that does hit. And I think it's cool. So shout out to us. Gonna give us
Shout out
give
to
us some
Good
credit
job,
here.
y'all.
I think it's a good.
Oh,
It's
hold
a
on,
fun
hold on.
little thing. This is what indies do best. Yeah.
Okay,
So-
so taking it back that now that we have figured out all the categories, for Not Like Other Sims Award, Keep Driving. Do I Need to Repeat Myself Award, Blueprints.
Sorry.
Right round award. I'm
No,
doing it.
I
I'm
thought the
doing
same
the
thing
voice.
too.
Sorry, I'm laughing at something else. God.
Sorry.
So go ahead.
Spin Me Right Round award goes to Despelote, Hex Appeal, Ball Pit. The Chance the Rapper award, Luminous Arise. And by the way, everyone, I'm trying to read past all of our nonsense that's just been written in the post along with everything. First out the gate, Citizen Sleeper 2. The Kool-Aid Man Award, Claire Obscure, Expedition 33. Just a Little Guy Award, Silk Song. Slipknot's Duality Award, and Roger. Let Them Cook Award, Wander Stop, and honorable mention the Goobies Game Award, Squeak Ross and Time Flies. And y'all, we've done it. That is the final verdict from the Indie Council. That is our last episode of 2025. We'll see everybody in 2026, which promises to be even wilder than this year. I'm already looking at games.
Dude, the year of Goobies 2
The year of
Yeah.
Goobies
on us.
on
Gonna
us.
be so good.
You're
Everybody-
welcome, Earth.
But that's the end of this week's council. Thank you to everyone for joining us. We appreciate y'all. We love being able to come here and talk about indie games every week. I love being able to talk with Mike, Janet, and Jenny. I love y'all. I hope you enjoy all of the time, hopefully, that you
We
get
love
off.
you too.
Love you.
Yeah, love
It's a
you
two-way
too.
street, if that wasn't clear.
Four-way street.
Let it be
Yeah.
known I said it first. So,
Yeah.
you know.
Wow.
Whoa.
Throwing us
Okay.
under the bus.
We're on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. The Indie Council has its own socials. Go check us out on Blue Sky at theindiecouncil.com. But this session is closed. Go play some indies.
Play Fly Night, Janet.